saying this
Gee,
part at the minute, it says there is a way
we
you
are
can
missing 3. Laney might be late for.
go to our website.
He might be able to make tier 2, but he says he's running late. So basically, we're here. I think.
Wouldn't that save you spending a week's wages on a new download?
Fuck off.
Yeah, $50. They still sell it for that?
Smile.
50 quid.
What's wrong?
£50.
I feel like you should have gotten the digital. The digital one probably goes for like 25, 30
Love you.
at most.
Oh, he did go digital. He did go for a digital one.
Oh, okay, so you probably paid 20.
Yeah, 2 secs.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave.
Out.
Yeah, alright. Greek, we can continue on Discord if you want to, Greek.
Yeah, that works.
I'm just signing into my channel a minute.
Farewell. Thanks, G.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers, boys.
God, don't mess with G, innit? Hey, don't mess with G. He'll kick you out. It sounded like it to me, Matt.
Give me a few seconds. I'm just trying to log into mine a minute.
G send.
Oh,
there you go, G.
Off, man. G, don't make me come over there and beat you.
Yeah, I've got an email confirming you're accessing your account.
Yeah, you probably have 2.
821021. Oh no, wait. 30.
Come on now, in the last 15 minutes.
Oh, I forgot my password. Shit.
Yeah.
Don't think that's it.
My channel.
Forgot his PIN number.
Is Emo Guy racing tonight, Dan?
No, he's not in the championship.
Oh, right, okay. Just make sure he was in on time.
I made sure I kicked him.
You fucked me up on Thursday night.
It was his fault. Gee, it was his fault. That's why I'm angry with him.
Right, I'm going to pause for a quick wee before we start.
You can have your disc digitalised. Apparently, you can just have it. Apparently, so I heard today.
Right. Oh. No. Right. Okay. So, are you guys ready?
Yep.
Right. Okay. Right. I'm just making sure no one's in them again, because I'll kick them if they are.
There's a lot of kicking going on.
Well, I don't want them in them again. If the whole point of the rules.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Right. What time is it? Right. Let's go. Right. I'm going into game chat. Good luck, boys. I'll see you later.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks for that.
Fuck.
Yeah. Are you staying in with us, G, in the background? Yeah, cool. So you can cue us in, yeah? Yeah. Cool. What do you think of the Grand Prix today, Matt? Oh, that good. Glad you enjoyed it. G, you seen it, G?
Oh, I'm back. Ooh.
Yeah. It's quite good. Yeah. The status quo, that one, isn't it? So yeah, not a bad result all in all. I bet Verstappen's felt just a little bit better about life about 10 minutes after he crashed, didn't he? Yeah.
Well, you couldn't have made that up, could you?
No. But then Baku kind of throws up shit like that, you know?
Bit drab though, wasn't it, until the red flag?
Yeah. It kind of started off all right, and then, you know, yeah. And then...
Vettel. Hey, I know I've criticised Vettel in the past. I know I've criticised Vettel. I know I've criticised Vettel in the past, but Mega Drive.
Yeah, that was good effort. And I mean, you know, he did that progressively through the race. He didn't luck into that in the last 2 laps, did he? Do you know what I mean? You're picking up the pieces of carbon fibre, I think.
His strategy was working though, because he got up to P4, didn't he? On the hard.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it wasn't Stroll's fault, was it? You know? No, not at all.
Yes, X-Mart.
Do you want me to start, Matt?
Yes, mate. You crack on if you want to.
Oh, yeah, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for Touring Cars. Welcome to Motive Racing for Season 8 of the Touring Cars. And we start with here at the Red Bull Ring for round 1 of the Tier 1s. My name's Kelly Davis and I'm joined in the box, sticking sweet in your box by Matthew Duffin. Good evening, Matt.
Good evening, Kelly. How are you?
I'm very, very well, mate. Tip top. And
good.
Yourself?
Very good. Thank you very much. Very good. Glad to be back. Touring car action, Kelly. What we know best. Brilliant.
We love it, don't we? Touring cars are the best.
Can't get enough.
No, they are the best. The best. We need more touring cars, more weekends, more touring cars.
And after that Tier 2 race we've just seen a little earlier, what a drive by Poopney, as well as Jay piling on the pressure at the end.
Absolutely.
If Tier 2s was anything to go by around here, I'm sure the Tier 1s are just going to be as exciting. A lot of car changes this season as well, Kelly. Do you want to talk us through that one?
Yeah, well, let's talk about the elephant that's not in the room, as the Renault Megane. The Renault Megane has been banned from this series because it was dominant car and really there wasn't any competition to the Megane. A couple of guys, Unorthodox and Gary, gave it a good crack in the BMW, but really running competitive in the wet. So this year, no Renault Megane. So all you have is the BMW, the 3 Series BMW, which is rear-wheel drive. You have the Mercedes-Benz, which you're looking at right now, the A-Class Mercedes-Benz, and let me show you one. We have the Astra.
Oh, look at the colour.
Look at the colour.
Looks just colour.
Just looks like a Honda, not lawnmower.
Yeah, and number 35. It's only 10 numbers off of Matt Neal's number as well.
Only, yes. That's the kind of. That's the kind of touring car trivia you're going to get from Matthew Duffin. If you've not tuned in before, that's the kind of Honda banter that we're going to get. So there you go. That's the Astra. That one's available as well. So 3 cars that these guys have got a choice of. No more Renault Megane. So that's going to change things around, isn't it, Matt?
It's going to put a lot more close battles, I reckon, into perspective. I think the BMW is potentially the favourite car, especially on a track like Red Bull Ring. But you never know. With these guys, some talented guys on this grid, the Astra and the Mercedes-Benz can just do enough. As we saw in Tier 1, Jay was keeping up to the back of Pootneep in his Mercedes-Benz, and I'm sure these guys, the likes of Ukbar and in the Mercedes, and Dan, who was in that lovely orange liveried Astra, will be on the back of the BMWs trying to give them hell. And no Gary tonight in his normal BMW, I've noticed. Who really is probably the stronger driver I've seen on this grid in that BMW car. I've not really seen the other guys who's driving the BMW, like John Boy, for example, is in the BMW tonight. Never really seen him drive it. I've seen him in the Mercedes, where he's looked mighty quick, but he's trying the BMW this season. So, how is he going to fare? It's going to be interesting to watch these guys who have changed cars from the Megane or from the Mercedes in the past. What can they do with a different task?
Indeed, and that's going to be the interesting question, is what can these guys do that have jumped to the BMW? Very different characteristics, front-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive. We know the BMWs are good on their starts as well, so that's all going to be interesting stuff that we're going to see. If you missed the Tier 2 race, then not now, but later on, go back and have a watch. It's well worth a watch because there was some great action with those guys as well, and I reckon the BMW has got the legs on the others down the straights, but maybe not in the corners, is what we're beginning to see early doors with the Tier 2s.
I have to agree with you on that comment. I think the only bonus for the BMW is out the real slow corners like the Turn 2 that we've just seen there. The traction out the corner will get it sort of going a bit quicker, do you know what I mean? With all the weight to the rear of the car, it'll get it sort of out to Turn 2 quicker than the likes of the Astra and the Mercedes. But there's a lot of corners around the Red Bull Ring that aren't just as slow. You've got this section here, the middle section of the track, which is quite a flowing part of the circuit, and one that you've got to get right. One that where the front wheel drive cars may be superior to the BMW, but you're right, the BMW's top speed in the straight line will be the one to watch. And like you said a moment ago, Kelly, the starts of these BMWs on a standing start is scary.
Absolutely. And Orthodubs puts his car on second place at the moment. 137's kind of similar pace to the Tier 2s this evening. Let's have a look, see who's back for the next season. Dolores back. He was a regular, had a couple of race wins. Yeah, he was definitely a challenger. On Orthodubs, as we know, Dan Davis, so many people know him. He's quite a character around the virtual paddock of the couple of channels that we're both on. And he's a contender as well. He's had some race wins, so on and so forth. He used to be BMW last year, so he's back in a front-wheel drive car, which might suit him better. We'll see.
Yeah, I was going to say, he didn't seem to favour that BMW last year, did he? Although he found it beneficial in the wet. Danny's much more a front-wheel drive car, it seems to be. So can he get that Astra where it needs to be? And can we see Dan mount a challenge this season?
Yes, indeed. And Fury back in this championship again. Another regular driver across a lot of championships, and usually brings the Fury massive with him, which I just look over to my comments and I get the evening sweet and sticky. Go Furies. That's Tony, which is Fury's granddad, and good evening X-Mart as well, as I'm looking at that, and usually Fury's mum is here as well. So a good following for Fury.
One thing I will say about Fury, Kelly, before we get to one thing I will say about Fury before we get to South Rocker, watch out for this man this season. I'm tipping him to be one that's going to do quite well. I fancy Fury in that Mercedes-Benz.
Absolutely. We've watched him through a few seasons here on Motive and on Simplay, and I race him for the GT3s over on Simplay, and he is a quick boy. And what he's lacked in the past is consistency, but it seems to be coming race by race.
He's getting there.
There isn't quite as many mistakes. There is still a few, which I'm quite keen about, that he makes those mistakes on a Wednesday night. But watch out for this guy. He is getting better and better for sure. So who do we move on to? John Boy's just popped up into the top three. John Boy in the BMW. He's moved from the Renault Megane and was quick in the Renault Megane last season. And is he reigning champion? No.
Champion, reigning champion. Champion. Beat Laney because Laney had a disconnection at Brands Hatch GP.
Laney, that's right. And
John Boy took the spoils.
Yes.
Challenge for him this year, Kelly, and like I said a moment ago, what can he do going from a front-wheel drive BMW, Renault Megane, and then the Mercedes-Benz that he was in before that? What can he do in this BMW this season? Because we know John Boy's a quick guy. He's won multiple touring car championships. What can he do?
Yes, indeed. What can he do? And a swap from front-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive. So let's see how he gets on with that. Who do we move to next? Wiegler back for another season. Him and his brother Delore, who we've spoke about with Delore before. Wiegler back, all part of Team Camber. Pootney, their good friend, also Team Camber, won the Tier 2 race. So Wiegler has had some moments of good speed in the past. So let's see if he can hook this Mercedes-Benz up. As we move on to any words on Vliga?
Vliga, again, like you say, is a guy who is quick on his day. Can he have more of them days to mount a serious challenge at the top half this year? Not necessarily at the title, but a top half finish. Like you say, quick on his day, but at times it can be a bit overly aggressive.
Yes, indeed. So hopefully he can work all those things out, and we're all learning, that's for certain sure. The House Rocker, or Tehuis Rocker, if you want to kind of pronounce it like us English, but it's actually German. Was it German or Belgium? I can't remember.
Belgian, I think. Belgium. You said Belgium.
Yeah, he's a Belgium guy. And the House Rocker is what that translates in. Again, he's been in the last couple of seasons. Has his moments, not been able to really push it at the front end, but certainly got the speed to do so.
And this is a man that I've seen a lot of in the Clios when he used to commentate Clios here at Motive in the past. And the House Rocker is a seriously quick guy. Again, with Fury and with Delore and with Dan and John Boy, the House Rocker is one that could really mount a serious challenge this season.
Absolutely, certainly could. It's within his capabilities for sure. So let's see how he gets on. Let's move on to Lodder, another returning one in the Mercedes. And what can we say about Lodder? Again, similar sort of thing. We see some moments for him when he's done really well. Hasn't been able to hook it all up to go up to the sharp end just yet, but he's still here and he's still fighting. So we'll see again how he gets on and how his season progresses.
I feel Lodder, Kelly, is one that goes under the radar a lot of the times.
Yeah,
Lodder,
he is.
You can see Lodder when he's having flashes of brilliance, and then at times you can be like, "Oh, hello, Lodder's popped up here."
Lodder.
From somewhere. He kind of goes under the radar. Can he make himself more heard this season?
absolutely. And he has been there at the sharp end quite a few times, so let's hope he can have some good results. Grandad Stee, I believe, steps up from Tier 2, does he not?
I'm not sure. You'll have to tell me about Grandad Stee.
I've seen him in Tier 2, I'm sure I have, and used to do quite well in Tier 2 as well. I believe, without having the stats in front of me, because I didn't come equipped with my my stats notebook, and I think Grandad Steve steps up from Tier 2, and he was quick in there, so let's see how he what he can make of touring cars. So watch out for this one. Certainly Grandad in name, but certainly not Grandad in driving. We move on to Nick Villa. Nick Villa, again, another regular around here. We saw him a lot in Clio's, and again, I think he stepped up, hasn't he? From
I think Nick Villa was in the Tier 1 last season.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Nick Villa, again, I raced him in Clio's a couple of seasons ago. Couldn't get anywhere near the guy. So, again, more than capable of running towards the front when he gets it all hooked up. Kurt V, and Kurt V's taking the BMW. He's another one that I've raced against personally in the touring cars, and he's another. Now, where's Kurt V from? We established this one. Was he? Belgium as well? Was he? I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he is. He's one of the guys. He's either Belgium or Germany or somewhere in Europe. So I'm sure at some point I will be corrected and told on the chat at some point. But Kurt V returning again. I had some great battles with him, some great clean battles, so that's good. And another one of our European friends, Ugbar. Now Ugbar is again going to elude me, isn't it? Is he Netherlands?
Netherlands, I believe. I believe you're right with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's nice to be right sooner or later. So Ugbar, again, he's got speed. Had a lot of rubbish starts, and then pulls himself back through the grid. So I'm sure he's hoping to have some better starts this year, so he can convert them into podiums and maybe race wins.
Yeah.
And Craig, we've got who's just coming down the pit lane. Again, Craig is one of the returning ones, and we hope to see that he pushes it towards the front this season. So that would be good. And who are we missing tonight? We've got no Gary.
I'm just about to load the Discord and get the list of names as we're speaking about it up for who is in the touring cars. There isn't a drivers. There's not a drivers list for the touring car Tier 1, so I can't tell you.
Okay, well, we think Gary's might be returning, but he's not here tonight.
Yeah, I think Gary said. I think Gary said Friday night he misses the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
So I think he's I think brother's birthday today, and he's on holiday for the next one, if I'm right.
Okay,
so Gary should be with us for the 3rd round. Watch out for Gary. I can't tell you the other guys who are missing tonight, but watch out for Gary, and that being when he gets back. Shame he's not doing the full season, because with him, Dan, Delore, Fury, Lauder, John Boy, and De Haas Rocker, that could have been a juicy series, couldn't it, at the front of that pack?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we'll see how he gets on when he's back in with us. And no X-Mart either. X-Mart's already commented. I didn't have a chance to read his comments before that review, but I don't think he's racing this year. He
says he'll miss out this season and we'll be back next.
Yeah, season 6 champion, no longer with us. And I haven't seen Laney either. I don't know what's happening. Laney, as we said, just lost out on the championship in season 7. And we haven't seen Laney, so I don't know if Laney is in. And again, maybe we'll get in the chat. We'll know who's in and who's out, and if Laney will be joining us. So
indeed, I think I heard Dan off air say that Laney is running a bit later, might be back for race 2. So hopefully we get Laney around for a bit later, because Laney again, seriously quick guy. Not sure what he's in this year though, so we'll have to see. Obviously he was in the McGann last year and the year before, last season and the season before, shall I say. So we'll find out what he's in this year. But look at the tables we've got here. The top 11 separated by just under 1 second, Kelly.
I know.
We are in for a cracking race tonight.
Absolutely. And you're quite right. So it's Delore. No, the House Rocker just goes quicker in a 1:36.9. That's the first 1:36 I've seen this evening. So cracking good lap right at where it matters there for the House Rocker. Puts himself on pole. See if anyone else can go faster.
Well, Gel in the chat. Go Team Camber, Delore, Vliegurk and Kurt V. with the colours of the Belgian flag. Camber. So he is Belgian with the sounds of that one. So Team Camber, 3 Team Camber guys on the track. No Team Prolapse out there at the moment, which is quite strange to say for the touring cars. Well, sorry, there is a member of Team Prolapse and Team Prolapse out there in Dan and Fury.
Dan and Fury.
Yeah, so an interesting one to see what happens here. Here's Dolores entering the penultimate corner. I like the Red Bull Ring, Kelly. A favourite track of mine. Going to be some good racing.
It too. Yeah, I like it too. We chatted a little bit about it in Tier 2, and just quickly I'll do the very quick stats. The Red Bull Ring was the A1 ring. Red Bull bought it a couple of years ago and spent a load of money on it, made it a little bit more up to date. It is an FIA Grade 1 track. Only got a capacity of 40,000, which isn't a great deal on modern standards. And the present lap record held by Carlos Sainz in last year's McLaren Renault 2020 version, and he did a 105.6 in a Formula 1 car, and that's the lap record. So these boys aren't going to get near that, and we'll see. Unorthodox is going to come across the line. Can he do any better than 4th? He's only 2/10 off the pole, but can he make it happen? He's flashing the lights.
He can.
He goes top of the
like
game.
Matt Neal.
I knew you were going to say that. And he goes half a second quicker as well.
Oh, we've got it just came up saying Laney's joined. So has Laney got in?
I saw that. Yeah, so Laney might just be in. He might make the start of the race. So this is your order, your qualifying order for the first race of the season. It's Unorthodox in 1 in the 36s, and the House Rocker in second place, just about half a second behind. Delore in 3rd, Fury's 4th, Laura 5th, John Boy in 6th, Valiga in 7th, 8th is Grandad Steen, 9th is Ugbar, 10th Nick de Villa, and let me scroll down, and Kurt V in 11th, and Craig bring up the rear in 12th. So that's how they go forward, and we're just about ready, aren't we?
I don't think we got Laney in because of the qualifying being at an end, obviously, on the lobbies. If you get to that last 2 minutes, you're not able to get in. Humble Racer, need to ask why the McGann's banned. Simply, it was just overpowered. Everybody was picking it, and there was 2 BMWs on the Tier 1 grid last year, and they couldn't get nowhere near them unless it was absolutely slinging it down with rain. And I mean, Dan and Gary are pretty nimble in the wet. So, was it more their skill than the BMW in them conditions? But the McGann was just overpowered. And this kind of makes the touring car grid a bit more close and competitive. And as you can see, the BMW's not even in the top 5 here tonight. The first BMW starts P6. It's an Astra front row, followed by 3 Mercedes-Benz, and then the BMW. So, I mean, it's a good job it's not a Mercedes one too, although the way the F1's gone this season, Bottas would be probably towards the back of the grid and one of them at the front.
Oh, yes, indeed. So, poor old Bottas.
Without giving any spoilers away today, I hope George Russell's ready for next season.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
If not, Kelly, I'm sure you'll get the phone call.
Well, it's highly probable, but unfortunately, I'm committed to commentating here on a Sunday night, so I'd have to say no thanks, Toto. I'm busy.
Don't need your Mega Millions.
No,
I'm commentating from my living room.
Commentating from my living room for free. I mean, why would I possibly want your £40 million payout? No, Toto, leave me alone. Stop ringing me.
Brilliant.
If he's listening on the stream, leave me alone now.
Because we know he does. We know he watches.
Yeah,
regular
viewers,
always here.
Yeah,
they all are.
Yeah. Of course they are. Yeah, they love touring cars.
Yeah. Now, interesting here. Hey, let me tell you this, right? So Dan has gone Astra this season. Now, this kind of plays in 2 ways. He's picked a Halfords-looking livery, a Matt Neal-looking livery, but he's in Jason Playo's car, in the Astra, yeah? Don't you think the House Rocker looks a bit like the Power Max in the way it's coloured, the yellow with white and black? So we've got a Halfords v Power Max on the front row if it was the proper touring cars. And we're green here for the first race, and what a start. Who's that?
Dan's had a shocker.
Who's had a launch?
Didn't he just? And Dan had a shocker. Just didn't seem to go forward. Seemed to have a load of wheel spin. Excuse me already. Dan's going backwards, getting nudged and pushed all over the road. But it's Delore who's out in front. Daniel making a recovery drive out of that really poor start. But he's got Fury there right beside him. They're ex-teammates, those two. So they know how each other drive. And Fury's got the inside line. But look out, these guys coming up behind. John Boy coming up behind. And Dan getting back in there. Gets down the inside. Look at that move, Matt.
Yeah, good switch
down
back.
The inside, Dan did. Beautiful move.
Great job done. What I will say though, Kelly, is did Delore jump the start, because he got away so well, and he's already built a massive gap up already. That is unbelievable how quick Delore got off the line. Has he jumped the start? Dan then, up the inside of Fury and down in towards turn 3. The House Rocker and John Boy all over the back of him. I was disappointed by John Boy's start, Kelly. I didn't think the BMW got off the line as we normally see it.
No, and I'll have to go back and watch that start again. As I say, all I saw was Dan get very bogged down, seemed to just wheel spin and not go forward. But the BMW, John Boy, where is he now? 5th. Yeah, was probably hoping for a better start than that, but we got a long way to go. And as you say, did Delore jump the start? We don't see any penalty on any of our screens. He hasn't got a time penalty for anything.
I unfortunately think the game doesn't show you if somebody's jumped the start or not. I think it is just guesswork. He's not pitting now as he will get a drive through, but it doesn't. For some reason, the game doesn't tell us as broadcaster or race director about that penalty. We only see it go red when there's a time penalty. But there was a Mercedes wide in the background. That looked like Lauder, who's just behind John Boy. And look at these in the background here. Who's that? Is that Grandad Stee and Vliegert just going side by side? And Vlie managing to get up the inside into turn 1. Good move there from Vlie, nice and clean up the inside. There's a Mercedes very, very wide there, as well. Who's the other BMW? Just behind this. Oh, back to the front then. Fury on Dan. Look at this.
Hang on a minute. I'm all over the shop here. Fury having a pop at Dan, trying to go round the outside. Wasn't going to make it stick there, but now he's the House Rocker has gone down the inside of Fury, so he's going to have to do it all over again.
Yeah, he's lost out to the House Rocker there, running wide as well, but he's coming back at him. And I said Fury, watch for him this season, because he's a man who looks quick and he's getting more consistent the more he races. He seems to, every race he does, he gets that little bit more consistent. As JR says, good luck, there's a car wide and just on the gravel getting a poor run out of turn 3. That looked to be Vliegert, if you ask me. The House Rocker then on the back, and here comes Vlie on the back of Grandad Stee with the BMW of Kurt, is it? Kurt V. Kurt V just behind these two watching on. So Kurt will be just patiently waiting for one of these two to make a mistake and to pounce on them with that speed of the BMW. Nick de Villa and Craig E well off in the background, but back further forward then. Bit of a train of cars here as Grandad Stee's getting on the back of trying to get on the back of Lauder to keep up with that battle, and Lauder's
he's picked it up again. He's caught it. That's the thing with these touring cars, isn't it, Matt? That you can't catch them. If you lose the BMW, you might be in more trouble. But the front-wheel drives can pull themselves back out of those slides. So it was also a characteristic with the Megane. But the Megane was just quicker at it. So, but yeah, you're going to see stuff like that. As Lauder, he goes side by side with Grandad Stee, and they get a little bit of handbags there.
Yeah,
as they go
locked up, did Lauder.
Turn 1.
Lauder locked up into turn 1, and it just ran him a bit wide. We saw what lockups do earlier today, and that ran him just a little bit wide into the side of Vliegert there. He's now lost out to Kurt as well, so not the lap he'd have wanted here, but he's going to look back up the inside, back to the front of the pack then. We've got Delore from Dan, who's just gapped Fury a little bit here. Fury's not been able to get back on the back of Dan. This is allowing Dan to creep onto the rear end of Delore, but Fury taking the House Rocker and John Boy with him. John Boy doing really well to stick. Well, I say John Boy's doing really well to stick with these cars. I think personally the BMW is the strongest car on the grid. John Boy then, when will he make his opportunity? John Boy clever. He's a two-time champ, I think, in these touring cars. So is he just biding his time at the moment before using the pace of that BMW to really open it up? The House Rocker though is near enough nose to tail with Fury.
Yes, indeed, and I mean it might take John Boy a couple of races to get used to the BMW. It's a very different car to the Megane that he was used to. So it might take him a minute or two just to get his head around the setup and get into his groove with that one. But we expect him to be quick. We expect him to be one of the lead BMWs, that's for sure. So we'll see how he progresses. But I mean, he's in striking distance now, Matt. I mean, we're not playing up his chances, but he's only 2 seconds off the lead. So let's not count him out just yet.
The House
Rocker, just done Fury into turn 1.
Fury's got the switch back here though, Kelly. He's got a nose up the inside, and that means the House Rocker can't come across to cover it. And that Mercedes just looks like it's got a little bit more when that Astra's not in a tow of any other car. That Mercedes just looks like it's got the edge over it on pure speed. And Fury then will have the inside line in towards turn 2, and the House Rocker has to tuck back and wait. And John Boy not trying to follow Fury through there. I'm quite surprised.
Sorry, Matt. He's now got the cut back the House Rocker's now got to cut back on Fury again now. So they go down the hill into this quite tricky braking zone. We'll see which one of them does better on the brakes. Here might be an opportunity for John Boy if he's clever. And that was reasonably fair, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was they gave each other room, to be fair, and yeah, quite mature driving from these guys. And yeah, on paper, Daniel was saying that the Astra is actually getting a bit handbags there. Go careful, boys. Neither of you wants to be on the grass.
No, Fury just maybe tapping the rear of that Astra there, just trying to stick a nose up the inside when it was close. John Boy's now having a bit of a look. Well, I mean, played the Astra in front, probably brake checked him. But John Boy now having a look up the inside to follow the line of the House Rocker. Fury can't tuck back into the middle, just clips the rear of the House Rocker. That's 2 or 3 times this lap now. He's just tapped the rear end of that Astra. Just got to get his head back in the game. He's got a lovely run coming out that final corner, and down the start straight he goes now. John Boy using that slipstream of the Mercedes-Benz. Can he follow Fury's line into turn 1? The House Rocker cannot cover it off. John Boy thinks better of it, and he's going to let these two get into turn 1 and out of it. But the House Rocker, what a cutback that is. Lovely move. Oh, and they're leaning. They're leaning. And that doesn't come to anything.
No, that's no, it didn't. House Rocker put a lovely move up the inside of Fury there. John Boy with a watching brief. He's now on the attack because he's got Fury, and now having a look at the back of the House Rocker. But has he gone deep? John Boy, no, he tucks it all back in again. I thought he'd gone deep on that one.
Oh, Dan's got the lead.
Dan's got into first.
Yeah, Dan's got the lead here.
First place.
We've not seen how that one was done. He didn't look that close to Delore a moment ago while I was watching the other battle, but he's got it done now. Has Delore had a moment at one of the turn 1 or 2?
Dan was certainly chasing him over the line, and I'm going to jump back to these guys because the job's done with Dan. Unless Delore is going to come back at him, we'll see. We'll try and keep an eye on that. Unfortunately, we don't get to see everything, and we have to take our chances on the battles that we watch. But yeah, Dan looked like he had a bit of a run, but was still half a second behind over the line. But he managed to put it all together. Or did Delore have a bit of a moment? We don't know. So. But Dan leads this race at the moment, pulling away from Delore at the moment. But this is probably the best scrap on track.
Grandad Steve's getting involved with this scrap as well, Kelly, here.
I was just about to say that. The Grandad Steve has dragged himself up on the back of this battle and is going to get involved here with as Fury, John Boy, and
Delore's in the pits. Now, is that Delore doing his drive-through penalty? He's also got done for speeding in the pit links. He didn't have a time penalty a minute ago, so he's been done for speeding in the pits. And I reckon Delore, he did get a drive-through, and he's serving it. There's no pit crew out. I mean, there's a little bit there. Is he going to pull into that section? No, it looks like he's going to drive straight through. So, yeah, drive-through penalty. Yeah. So, Delore then did jump the start. Back to the battle at the front, though. Fury has got the run on John Boy up the inside and towards turn 2. The House Rocker keeping the door shut so he can't get past the House Rocker. But they're 3 abreast coming into turn 2. This could only end well. And did Fury back out of that one? I know he's still 3 abreast here.
Still there, still on the inside. Still on the inside. This is the battle now for second place. This is so we've got 4 of them having a go at second place. Delore's going to be out of this one. He's got a penalty and he did a drive through. He's right at the back. That's his race over, technically. Excuse me. As Fury tries to look down the inside, John Boy rubbing doors with John Boy, rubbing doors with the House Rocker. Look at these 4 going at it. This is great racing, Matt, isn't it?
It is great racing. I've just noticed Grandad Steve just managing to keep himself wider of these guys as he was bumping and tapping through turn 3. He's wanting to not get involved too much in this. He doesn't want to ruin his own race. Looks like Grandad C wants to pick up the pieces, but I'm sure when he gets close enough he'll make that move on Fury, on any of these 3 guys, to be fair, because they've chopped and changed as they've gone along. And here comes John Boy then looking around the outside at the penultimate corner onto House Rocker. Can't get that one done, and he can't tuck back in because Fury's got up the inside and a bit of a nudge wide. John Boy runs very wide, takes out the braking board marker. The House Rocker a little over the curb as well on the exit. And now Grandad Stee is right on the back of this pack as John Boy is back through ahead of Fury.
Yes, indeed. He come back on the track, back in front of him, so he didn't lose out when Fury gave him a bit of a nudge. Probably outbraked himself a little bit as they go wheel to wheel again. Grandad Steve trying to find a way through. Oh, they go handbags again. Gets John Boy's back end a bit squirrely in that rear-wheel drive BMW. Grandad Steve down the inside now, and he's going to try and mug the pair of them into this next
Fury
corner.
Wants to make this 3 wide, though, Kelly.
He's there. Yeah.
Fury looking for the cutback, and he's done it. He's got the cutback. Great cutback from Fury there. Can he keep it up the inside towards turn 4? John Boy and Fury, they're going to have each other's liveries imprinted on their doors soon. They keep bashing the side of them cars like there's no tomorrow. Grandad Steve, great opportunistic move, and they're still bouncing on each other, and Fury's in the wall around, and that was bound to happen to one of them sooner or later. Fury's managed to get that going relatively quickly there, flashing his lights in discontent. He's not happy.
But look behind, what's going on behind him. He gets swallowed up by another battle that's going on. And
another group of 4.
This is Lauder and Kurt, Nick de Villa and Vliga in all this as well. Pure old Fury is going to be sucked up by these lot in a minute if he doesn't get a move on. John Boy is still going after Grandad Steve. The House Rock has been let off the hook a little bit and has managed to get away. So the battle now is 6 down to 9th.
What a dream!
These guys.
What a dream Tier 1 debut for Grandad Steve. He got promoted from the Tier 2s last year, like you said. He's on the podium at the minute in these Tier 1s. I know there's still 13.5 minutes left, but so far, Grandad Steve couldn't have wished for a better Tier 2 debut. And look at Fury here. He's got Vliga right on the rear of him. Kurt's having to defend from Lauder. Fury then was in a battle for the podium a moment ago. He's now fighting to hang on to 5th place so far. Lauder very wide in that Mercedes-Benz. He flashes the BMW of Kurt to go through. Fury's Grandad in the comments saying, keep it together, Fury. Can he get back on that pace to catch the cars in front? I'm sure 2 laps ago he wasn't expecting to be battling Vlee and Nick de Villa for 5th place.
Yes, as Vigla has a look up the inside, not quite enough to get it to make it stick, but he's giving Fury a run down this straight now, but he tucks in behind, and Nick de Villa looking interested in this as well. So all still going on here, Matt, for sure. As Vigla has a look. Oh, that was a bit late, Vigla. To be fair, that
this is what we said.
Always going to get smaller.
This is what we said in the commentary, Kelly, about Vlee. Just at them little moments that cost him in these championships, and it's another one there that he just needs to try and get the errors sorted. And that was definitely an error a long way back, and that was never going to work. The door, like you said, the door was always shutting.
Always going to shut
from Fury. Luckily enough, though, Fury didn't go round.
No, indeed. Fury has managed to hold on to it and lives to fight for another day. We're having a little bit of lag from Nick de Villa at times, and Vliga trying to get back on this now, and struggling really. So this still in close company, this lot. So this one will still run and run. Fury wants to get himself back on the lead group, but we found before at this Red Bull Ring, when you fall away a little bit, it's really difficult to catch that pace back up, especially when these guys are so evenly matched.
Yeah, and you can see why really they are the best of the best. This is the Tier 1 here at Motive. These are what Motive's best touring car drivers they've got on offer, and when you start falling behind that pack, it's going to be very, very hard for you to catch back up to the front of it, and Fury's going to struggle the rest of this race, I reckon. But John Boy here on the back of Grandad Steve, they've slowly been dropped by the House Rocker. He's just pulled a little bit of a gap on these two, which has allowed him to sort of pump in some lap times and get some consistency going, get into a rhythm. Grandad Steve just locking up there. They're not a million miles away though, so the House Rocker, although he can get consistent, he's got to make sure he's pushing. One little error and these two will pounce on him straight away.
Absolutely, quite right. Grandad Steve still within a second of the House Rocker, but he's gone a bit wide, and John Boy's having a look down the inside. Didn't think he'd make that stick from there, but he's certainly racy on the back of Grandad Steve. And why these two... Go on, mate.
One thing I noticed with John Boy is he gets that BMW, the rear of it, very twitchy at times.
Yeah, a bit of a... Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Still,
for sure.
As if he's... like you said a moment ago, he's going to take him a couple of races maybe to get up to speed of that BMW. But just them twitches are just losing him that momentum to get the car up alongside Grandad Steve.
Absolutely, and as I said, he might be getting used to the characteristics of it. While these two are scrapping with each other, this gives the House Rocker a bit of breathing space to go about his race and try and gap these two a little bit. Excuse me. And just to remind you, who's out in front? That's
Matt Neal.
Matt Neal. Matt Neal in his Halford's Honda.
Halford's Opel Astra.
Yeah, Opel Astra thing. Yeah. So, John Boy having another. He's going to have a look now. Look, Matt, he's on Grandad Steve.
He's outbraked himself. He's outbraked himself. He's come from a long way back. Grandad C gave him the respect and the room he deserved, but he's just outbraked himself there. What a shame as well. I've noticed Nick Villa's got past Fury and has gapped Fury a little bit. They've both pulled away from their battle in the background as well. So
yes, indeed. We were quick to pat him on the back there, and he just went a little bit deep, John Boy, but nearly got the move done. He's going to fight for another day. Fury is... how's Fury getting? Fury's... Yeah, he's lost a bit of pace. Nick Villa's managed to get in front of him.
Yeah.
And he's lost a little bit of pace now, so... I think he's going to struggle to get back to this... to the lead group.
The thing I hope Fury's not doing is sort of going back to how he used to be. When he makes them 1 or 2 mistakes and they creep in, he then just starts to overdrive the car. Fury has, in the past, and I'm sure he'll hold his hands up to this, has been, you can be criticising him for overdriving the car. When he makes 1 or 2 mistakes, he tends to just push too hard, do you know what I mean? And really try and get as much out of the car, and it doesn't work at times. He makes the little mistakes that's costing him. He just needs to stay calm, stay cool, get back into that rhythm. The pace was there to be running at the front. He'll be there to... I mean, he'll pass Nick Villa because of the penalties. Will he get back on this pack? Probably not in the last 8.5 minutes. But just cut the errors out for this race. Score as much as you can.
Absolutely. And in the background, that is Fury and
Fury and Nick Villa. And Fury's facing the wrong way, and look how many places he's losing. Is that one of the errors that I was saying about Fury, about just keeping it cool? Has he just made that one of them errors? Did Nick Villa lose the car? We don't know. We couldn't see properly. But Fury now, we've just literally said, get in that rhythm, keep you cool, score the points. He's P11. What a shame.
Yes, indeed. What a shame. Sorry about the commentator's curse again, I think.
Yeah.
And as Grandad Steve and John Boy's got Grandad Steve while we were watching the other action, but Grandad Steve hasn't let this one go yet. These guys are reasonably evenly matched, so watch out for these two. It isn't over yet, that's for certain sure. Just going back to Fury, what a shame. And we've watched an awful lot of races for Fury, and I've raced against him multiple times and still do. And I do. There's parts of me that wants him to stop, as said, just get the consistency. And there's other parts of me that wants him to keep on doing it, especially the nights we race together. But he is certainly improving, that's for certain sure.
Oh, he certainly is. Grandad Steve then here. He's trying to keep on the back of John Boy here. You just got a shot of Dan there, who's leading this race by near enough 6 seconds. The House Rocker, bit slower that lap than these two, so these two just starting to maybe use each other and come back at the House Rocker. Just a couple of tenths quicker between the pair of Grandad Steve wasn't. He was over a second slower than John Boy nearly. Maybe he had a bit of a slowdown, and that is how John Boy got past. We obviously didn't see at the time. But these two here can start to close that gap. I've been watching the lap times recently, Kelly. They are just a couple of tenths quicker each lap than the House Rocker. So is that Astra going through its tyres a little bit more than the Mercedes and the BMW? Is it in a phase now where it's starting to need to look after its tyres?
I tell you, one of the interesting things about banning the Megane is that we do find out characteristics about these cars that aren't used quite so often, the A-Class and the Astra, which normally I don't think we saw either of those cars last year, and I think we only saw one Merc the year before, or the season before, should I say. We'll start to learn about these cars as we start to get feedback from the drivers, and how the Astra performs, how the Merc is on its tyres. So we're certainly going to find things out as we go on through.
Grandad Steve has had a terrible lap. He's really dropped off the back of John Boy this lap. I wonder if he's just pushed the track limits a little too much and had a few slowdowns that's dropped him off the back, because John Boy's not really caught the House Rocker, but he's certainly, obviously you can see the gap now between the pair of them. Grandad Steve will take a P4, I'm sure he will, on his first outing in the Tier 1s. Here's a clip of Dan again, just to make sure he's still going. But John Boy, can he catch the back of the House Rocker by the end of this race? 5 minutes left. So what, 3-4 laps maybe?
Yeah, 3, yeah. John Boy's still on a charge. This is one to watch for
John Boy in the 36. 36 his last time round for John Boy, so he was the quickest man on the track last lap around and was nearly a second quicker than the House Rocker. I'm wondering, look at Dan's lap time, a 38.1. The House Rocker the lap before was a 38. I know he's just done a 37.4. I wonder if the Astra, just for a lap or two, you have to sort of back off and let the tyre just cool a little bit and not push it as much, because they've caught Dan. It was 6 seconds the gap was between the House Rocker and Dan a minute ago. It's now 4.3. So they have caught Dan here.
Yes.
I'm wondering if like you said, the characteristics of the car, does the Astra just go through its tyres a bit more than the Beamer and the Merc?
Well, maybe, but the House Rocker is in the Astra just the same. So, and he's nearly a second faster than Dan on the last lap. Is Dan cruising?
Is he cruising? The House Rocker did a 38 dead the lap before, so was that his lap where he'd saved a bit of tyre wear? And has saved a little bit for this lap. Can Dan get back off a little bit, save his tyres for this? I mean, obviously we'll find out more as the drivers tell us more throughout the season. We're just speculating at this moment in time. Nick de Villa then down into P9. He's on the back of Ukbar. Ukbar been a bit quiet in this race. Not had to mention Ukbar much this race.
No, again, like I said in qualifying, Ukbar tends to have a disastrous beginning to the race, and then a solid second half is what happens. He's under pressure, and Nick de Villa. Nick de Villa's been up and down this order in the first race as well. He's been kind of all over the place, hasn't he? So it's P9's probably not what he's looking for at the end of this, but he's still in there and he's still fighting. A couple of places in front of him, so we'll see how that one pans out. One of the biggest. Oh, whoa! I was going to say Nick was lucky to miss that, and he probably was actually, because
what happened there? That was Ukbar and
TJ.
Kurt. Did Kurt? I'm just looking back at the stream here.
Yeah.
Oh, Ukbar set one and tapped the rear of the BMW at turn one, and it's not worked, and that's just caught Nick de Villa out. Well, great avoidance, and unfortunately ran wide and clipped the wall. Dan again in a 38.1. He's struggling for some pace out there. These boys have caught him by another 9/10. He's got the gap at the moment, so is he just cooling? I've driven the Astra before, and it does seem to use its tyres a lot. Obviously, the default setups I was on, so I don't know what it's like when you can actually tune the car, but I wonder if Dan is just saving a bit of tyre wear here. Has had 2 laps where he's sort of bit off the pace, and now he can go back on it, because that gap still at 4.3, even though they caught him by 9/10 last time round. So is Dan now just being able to? He's backed off. He's gave his tyres 2 laps, and now he can go again.
Yeah, maybe he's just managing that pace, and look,
36.9. So straight back on the pace. Quickest. The only other person I've seen in 36 was John Boy a couple of laps ago. So I reckon the Astra, maybe then you need to come off it for a lap or two, get the tyres cool, and with Dan having that massive gap he's got, he's able to do that and then bang in them lap times.
Yes, that could well be the case, and as I say, we'll learn more about these new cars. I say new; they've always been there, but we'll find out the characteristics as we go. But it's certainly looking that way, because Dan with a 36.9, that's back more to pace. I mean, he's only got to get through another couple of minutes, and probably another lap, or definitely another lap after this one, and. Everyone wants to win the first one of the championship, don't they? Because that makes you feel good, because you're leading the championship as well. So,
okay, so do you want news on the Astra?
Yeah, go on.
Jamie Brazier's been watching Dan's personal stream. His front left was overheating, hence why he was backing off for the 2 laps. So the tyres obviously are an issue for the Astras, and so maybe if you start to see them back off a little bit and the lap times look a bit shoddy, they're just giving the tyres a chance to cool a little bit more. So this is something we've got to watch with this Astra throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, absolutely, and it adds to the excitement, doesn't it, Matt? Do you know what I mean? And the speculation of what's going on there, because Dan now down to 3.9, and although he's putting in green sectors by the looks of it, it seems to be that you might need to cool your tyres and then go again. Is exactly what he says. He's going to go over the line. This will be the last lap, and. So he's got a comfortable position there, hasn't he?
He has, The House Rockets got John Boy a 38.2, so he's had a horrible lap last time around, which has really lost him out off the back of the House Rock race. So it could be an Astra 1-2. Oh, Grandad Steve just getting up all over the curb, getting a bit out of shape. He's picked himself up a penalty, but he's not going to need to worry about that when he's well in front. Fury's charged through the pack, back up to P9 at the moment. Delorey, don't forget, we do believe has that 10-second time penalty, so Fury should get ahead of Delorey. Can he get himself on this last lap within whatever Nick de Villa's penalties are? He'll know what the penalties are for Nick de Villa. Can Fury get himself there? Dan, though, quarter of the lap done, nearly halfway through it, and he's nearly home.
Yes, indeed, your pole man, and going to be your race winner, being that nothing goes wrong. He's right for fuel, isn't he? Yeah, he's got 7 litres of fuel. So it's going to be an opening win for unorthodox, and sets the tone for his championship battle, because I know he would love to win this one. He's a big touring car fan. He's the guy from Motive who sets up the tracks and sets up all the lobby and stuff like that for us on this one. So he's got a lot to do with this championship. And I think this is one he would love to win overall.
Don't get cocky, Dan. Yeah, don't get cocky, Dan. Don't flash your lights yet. You've still got 2 corners to go. But
don't wave at the crowd before you're over the line.
You're right. Dan would absolutely love to win this touring car championship, and I'd love to see Dan win it in this coloured livery, Kelly, because I'm sure we'd never let you forget it. He's flashing though. Ever. He's done it just like Matt Neal. He wins the race from pole. Slow start, but he got away to House Rocker P2. Good drive from him in the Astra. John Boy a third in his debut in the BMW. Grandad Steve P4 on his Tier 1 debut. Great outing for Grandad Steve. Just fell away at the end, but good pace for them. Vliegurk P5 at the moment. Lauder though looks like he'll get him on the penalties. Lauder does get him on the penalties, so good result for them too. Again, a bit under the radar for Lauder. Nick de Villa defending from Delore, but them two may lose out to Fury depending on their penalties. Delore... No, they don't. No, Fury stays live. Kurf gets 10th. Ukbar crosses the line P11th, and just Craig E who to cross the line. I think he got Ukbar at the end with his penalty.
Yeah, with penalties. Yeah, absolutely. So penalties, sorting that one out. So there you go. That's your classification. Race 1, win 1 for Unorthodox, and he goes to the top of the championship. Of course, the House Rocker in second with a solid drive. John Boy, I reckon he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, Matt. You know, in that BMW. Yeah. He comes in third. Grandad Stee in fourth. Lauder fifth. Valiga in 6th, 7th place goes to Nick de Villa. Delore in 8th, Fury in 9th, 10th place Kurt V. Craig is in 11th, and Ugbar ends up at 12th place. That is the start of your touring car. We have got the feature race coming your way very, very shortly. I believe we're going to take a short break before we do the qualifying. So grab yourself a cup of tea, come back, join us again, put some comments in, and we'll come back and give you some great chat in just a few minutes.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah.
But it's still live on mine.
Ooh. Well done, Dad.
Thanks.
Cracker, well done.
28 laps. Thank you.
Is the Astra burning up its tyres, Dan?
A little bit, but not as bad as I thought.
Oh, okay.
Lap 9. My computer's gone down, so I've got to see what the thing is.
Weather.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and have a slash minute. I'll be back in a sec. Are we a new lobby or same lobby?
Same lobby.
Same lobby. I'm just going to have a slash.
Feature race overcast, light cloud for qualifying, Dan.
Thank you, mate.
You alright there, G?
Did you... Oh, God, that's the wrong time. I don't want that.
Excuse me.
What we want. Yep. And... Oh. Mandatory pit stop. I always forget to do this bit. Right. 28 laps, mandatory pit stop, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock qualifying. Still... Right, cool. Laney's in, I think.
Yeah, Laney's just got him.
What's
Laney? What's Laney in? What's Laney in?
BMW.
Oh,
that's the things.
Laney's going to be one to watch this season.
Yeah, he's in the BMW. What number is that one? I'll sort it out later.
Couldn't tell you.
Right. Are you guys ready to go?
Your dad's just gone for a wee.
I'm back.
He's back. Your dad's back from his wee.
Sweet.
Great wee it was.
Right. Just double check this is all correct.
Hi,
15
Jamie.
minute qualifying, 28 laps, overcast, mandatory pit stop. Hi, Jamie.
Hiya.
Hi.
Jamie here, is he? Hello, Jamie.
No, he's in. He's watching Dan's stream.
Oh, I see.
Right.
I see. Hello, Jamie.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Right, so I will leave you to it then. I will catch y'all in a bit.
Good luck, Dan.
Good luck, Dan. Mr.
Thank
Neil.
you very much. Thanks. I prefer shedding.
Well, I prefer Neil and I'm commentating.
I bet you were loving the orange and grey Astra at the front, weren't you?
Hey, your dad's in for one heck of a ride this season.
I bet. Whatever. I thought.
Now we're in the Acoras down as Team Wackersack, and that's even better.
I was a little bit worried at Delory at the start there. I had an awful start.
Yeah, you wheel spin, did you?
Bad reaction and just really bad wheel spin.
Yeah. It looked like you went backwards for sure, or just sat on the spot wheel spinning.
Yeah. Yes, please, mate. My laptop's taking forever.
What is it? 9? Did you say, G?
Lap 9, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate. I'll do it from now on. It's just my laptop's just died. Right. I'll catch you in a bit.
Righto. Good luck, mate.
Cheers.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're joining us and you was here for the first race, welcome back. If you're just joining us and you're new, where have you been? Where have you been?
Yeah.
Where have you been?
That is the question of the day, Kelly.
It is, isn't it? Where have you been? We've had some cracking good touring car racing already, and we've already had it established that this is the best racing of the weekend. Forget Nürburgring 24 Hour, which I reckon is this weekend, and F2 and F1.
Did you hear about that?
No, mate, I haven't.
It got called off overnight because of serious fog, and the helicopter helicopter thing, whatever, couldn't take off. So it got postponed overnight until 6 or 7 a.m. this morning, I do believe, because of fog.
Oh, well,
really bad fog as well. It was really bad. There was never racing around the Nordschleife with that. That was poor. Yeah, that was some serious stuff around the Nordschleife.
We've got some 24-hour experience from the Nürburgring, but that's a different story. Simplay Motorsport, if you get a chance, go and have a look. And interesting 24 hours that was. And anyway, look who's back. Joining us for the feature race this evening, and championship contender last year, just missed out by the finest of margin. Laney is back. And he's in the BMW.
I was about to say, look at what he's in, Kelly. Look at the car he's in. If he can tame the beast, he will be the beast. He will be the man on a charge, because Laney is a serious, quick guy in these touring cars. And if he can tame that BMW, and he could be someone to seriously watch. I know he's missed the first race, but he'll quickly make up for that, don't you worry. Although, looking at it at the minute, that's very twitchy.
Yes, I mean that's probably his outlap, and he's probably trying to put some heat into the tyres. Yeah, trying to put some heat into those tyres. But interesting enough, the reigning champion and the man he had a titanic battle with last season is this guy, who's also in a BMW. So that'll be interesting, won't it?
Crazy, absolutely crazy. Who'd have thunk that one? That the two championship contenders would both be in the BMW. Bethany Duffin in the chat. I'm here, even though Gary is not. Well, Kelly, she must be here for you, because she's not here for me.
Well, I think we might both be out of luck on this one, Matt, to be fair. My number one fan on a Wednesday night, but no other night, is glad to see you in, Beth. I hope you're well.
She's just the wife of mine. She's not even a fan of my work, so I can't even call her my fan. Kelly's on a Wednesday, Gary's on a Thursday, and she just puts up with me, I suppose.
Well, it comes in her contract, I think. So, so there you go. Yeah, so as we were saying, Laney and John Boy both in the BMW. This guy was going well. We've had a lot to say about Fury and a lot of good things to say about it. So don't let us down in this one. Grandad Steve, not out of the pitch yet, but he had a good start. And Orthodubs is on the track. Do you think Dan can put together a championship this year?
I seriously do, Kelly. I seriously do think that Dan has got a great chance. He's dominated that race with a bad start. Now, all right, Delory had a drive-through penalty, and that made Dan's life a little easier because Delory was then not there, and he already had the gap back to the House Rocker and the others. But if Dan can drive like that, and if Dan can get the starts, Dan's a serious challenger for this title. He really is, based off that first race. Great pace. He said off air that, the front tyre overheating a little, but not as bad as he thought it was. You could tell in his lap times at times where it felt like he backed off. The others caught him. Then he put in them laps and created that gap straight away. But this is the man, Laney, that I'm interested to see. What can he do now in this BMW? Like we said, if he can tame it, this guy's going to be seriously quick. Let's see this man off the start. Let's see John Boy try and hopefully get a better second start. This is the only race, don't forget, of the season where both races there will be a qualifying for. Don't forget, coming next week will be the reverse grid formation lap as from next week. So this is the only race this season where both races will be a qualifying and a standing start. So let's see what Laney can do and make the most out of this BMW, because he's not going to be leading the championship come next week. So come round one, that BMW is not going to get its advantage of that great launch off the line in race one. So Laney's got some work to do in this one.
Yes, indeed. So we'll see how his progresses. So, I mean, early doors, I'm thinking championship contenders, John Boy, Laney, Dan, and maybe this guy as well. Maybe this guy.
The House Rocker as well.
Yeah, and Delory.
Delory,
just about everybody.
Delory, Fury, Lauder, Nick the Villa.
Yeah.
Kurt, Craig, Gary, Ugbar.
Yeah, Craig. Yeah. Everyone's a contender.
Andy, Emo Guy, myself, yourself, G. Just everybody at Motive.
Everybody.
We could all win it. Yeah, we could all win it.
Yes, indeed. So keep your comments coming in the live chat, please. We love to see your comments. We love to know you're there and that you're interacting with us. It makes our lives so much easier. Makes it feel like we're doing it for an actual audience. So keep your comments coming in and talk to us. We'll answer any question you like on motorsport. If I don't know it, Matt will. If Matt doesn't know it, then Google does, and we'll tell you the answer. But throw us some motorsport questions. We don't mind.
Yeah, throw us some motorsport questions. Like Dan says, like Kelly says, not Dan. Like Kelly says, if I don't know it, he will. If he don't know it, I will. If we both don't know it, well, what are you doing here asking silly questions?
Absolutely. If we don't know it, then it's not worth knowing. So, so look at the moment in the 36s. Look, Dan put in a 36, but Fury is now the man in the 36s. And Fiegler, hello, Fly. What are you on?
Where's this come from?
36.6. Yes, he's got that one hooked up. Still 10 minutes to go in this qualifying session. 8 minutes to go in this qualifying session, and still all to play for. But these guys certainly getting the hang of it now. Look, we've got 4 people.
John Boy's
now
just
in the
gone into the 36. Wow.
Yeah. So we've got a Merc, we've got a Beamer, another Merc, and an Astra, all in the 36s as Dan goes out again. Laney just a sniff behind now in the he's still in the 37s, but we don't know how much practice Laney's put in this car.
And this is the thing, John Boy's just had that race and qualifying under his belt, so he's got to grips a little bit with the BMW, can make the tweaks he needs to make on the setup, but most importantly he's had a good half an hour driving it. If Laney's not got that much practice in, it may just be about getting the whole qualifying session in to get some laps under his belt.
Yeah, maybe so. And we know how the race can turn around really quickly. Yeah. Qualifying isn't everything. Delory now quickest, and the next man into the 36s. There he goes on 2 wheels. And
just to give them all a shout out for the championship as well. They're all now starting to pump in the quick times.
Yeah, we must have motivated them. That's what we must have done.
Yeah.
Depending on how many of them are actually listening to us. But so Delory goes quickest now in a 36.5. We couldn't possibly see a 35. Could we? Could we see a 35 tonight, Matt?
Well, Hey, let's not rule it out. It's not impossible. Who's the man to do it if so? That is the big question. So what have we got? Merc, BMW, Merc, Astra, top 5, all in the 36ers at the moment. So the Merc looking the strongest car so far. Obviously, there's only 3 BMWs on the grid. How many Astras do we have? 2?
2, I believe. Dan's in one of them.
Yeah, and the House Rocker.
And the House Rocker's in another one. And I think everyone else, Nick Villa's in a Merc, Lodder's in a Merc, Craig's in a Merc, Kurt's
BMW.
In a BMW. Over Laney, we know, is in a Beamer. Grandad Steve's. Yes, there's only 2 Astras. The Astra is a downloadable content, isn't it?
Yes,
so
DLC.
Maybe not everyone. Maybe everyone has it to their, in their repertoire of cars. I haven't got it. I haven't downloaded it. So.
No.
Grandad Steve. Oh, yeah. All over the place. Manages to stay out of the way of the House Rocker there. He goes back to the pits. And, so maybe not everyone's got it. So that's...
So two Astras, 3 Beamers, and then the other 5. 5?
Yeah.
No? The other 6 are in Mercedes-Benz. So
that's correct.
It's a bit more mixed up, isn't it, in the old manufacturers sort of on the track. It's not just 14 Meganes and 2 BMWs like last season. It is a bit more mixed up this year. Are we looking forward to next weekend, Kelly? Snetterton?
Oh, absolutely. For the actual British touring car.
For the real touring cars.
Oh yeah, absolutely, mate. There's nothing like enough meetings for a start. Right?
It's been 5 weeks.
It's been 5 weeks. It feels like 5 years. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
I so want touring car to come faster. They need more rounds for sure. You know, it's got to be. And we've said it before, and we'll say it again. It is probably the best racing on the face of the planet. And I challenge, if he's listening, if they're all listening, Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Seb Vettel, all those, go and have a go at touring car. Let's see how good you really are, shall we?
I fancy any of them against the like of Turkington and Sutton and Shedden.
Yeah.
And I tell you now, especially as Sutton, you won't come out alive. Because Sutton will rough you up like you've never been roughed up before in that car.
Absolutely.
And it's not just the British Premier of racing. You know, the British touring cars for me is the best across the world, like you said, Kelly. As Dan into the 36.5 goes quickest by 7,000ths of a second. So time coming down towards that 35. Will we see one? No Andy Neat next week, Kelly. Andy Neat's been replaced for next week, personal reasons. So we've got another female on the grid. Jess.
Yes, we've got Jess.
She does the Aston Martin test reserve drive or test drive for Aston Martin. Jess Hawkins or something.
Jess Hawkins, you're quite right. Yeah.
She's in, so we've got her and Jade Edwards next week. And I mean, it's not a bad thing.
Good to see the girls. Yeah, good to see the girls doing it. Absolutely. Love to see them fighting at the sharp end. That would be absolutely fantastic. Let's see if they can get there. But that's very good news indeed. So British touring car. I was going to say, just on the back of it, we've had many drivers who've come to British touring car with high hopes and have been absolutely nowhere. And I mean, some very well respected touring car drivers. Not to pick on anyone particular, but Andy Prio. Mark Blundell. Guys who've been at the top of their game in other disciplines. World touring car for Andy Prio and Formula One for Mark Blundell back in the day. Nowhere.
Yeah, multiple 3-time champion in the World Touring Cars. One to Andy Prio.
And I mean,
mixed it at the front, but just
for a little bit, but not consistently, was it? You know, and I say famously Nigel Mansell, who was an absolute epic world champion and epic Formula One driver, couldn't really mix it with the touring cars of the day. You know, so I would wouldn't you just love to cherry pick certain drivers and put them in a British touring car?
Wouldn't it be? Yeah, it would be absolutely amazing. You know, just like you say, pick the top 3 from the F1 and pin them against 3 of the best touring car drivers. Whether you put them in the same car, you know, put one in a BMW with Turkington and one in an Infiniti with Sutton and one in the Honda with Shedden, and see who comes out on top. Because I don't fancy their chances, if I'm going to be honest with you. While we're on about real life racing, did you catch the IndyCar last week?
No, I didn't see it. There was the Indy 500, wasn't
yes,
it?
the Indy 500.
Yeah.
What a race! Not the incidents we was expecting. I was chatting with Dan the whole way through the race. Castro Neves, 4-time IndyCar winner, equaling the all-time record of 4 Indy 500 wins at the Brickyard, and did it in great fashion. Came from nowhere, and Pablo Montoya, P8.
I was a big fan of Juan Pablo when he was a Formula 1 driver. One of the guys I actually saw win a race live at the British Grand Prix many years ago. And I'm a big fan of Montoya, so yeah, good to see him doing well.
Really good race at the Brickyard, and it was top stuff.
Well, yeah, one of the all-time classics, that, isn't it? So, a minute and a bit left over, and Orthodubs is at the top of the list. The brothers, just in case you didn't realise, that Delore and Vigla are second and third. Here comes Delore across the line. Can he improve on this run? We will see.
De House Rocker and Laney won't get another run, Kelly. They're done, so Team Camber currently second and third. Vliga still on a lap. 50 seconds left of this one.
Yes, indeed. So, a chance for a couple of guys to go a little bit quicker. I've got my doubts. Dan's done. He's gone into the pits. He isn't going to be coming out, so he's done. So that's the benchmark to beat. I would think we're going to struggle. Oh, yeah, deep that was.
That's a potential current and next invalid for Vlee, so that's probably, that's
he's
him
giving
done.
It up. Yeah, who else is on track? Fury's up into fourth at the moment as he goes deep on the last one as well.
Delore's done.
Yeah. Delore's done, he's given it up. So can Fury improve as he comes across the line, and he cannot improve. Who's left on track? John Boy's coming into the last corner. He goes very, very wide. That's the end of that one. He ain't going to improve with that at all. But he comes across the line. In a pirouetting kind of fashion. Normally what BMWs do, parked outside McDonald's. Proving how it's done. Who we got left on track?
Just Fury.
Craig's all done by the looks of it.
No, not Lauder just Fury, just Lauder.
Yeah, Lauder and Nick Davila still on track. Where's Nick? Just
Nick's
behind.
done.
Yeah. So Lauder. Is he still at pace?
Lauder's still going here. Lauder's still flat out. Lauder's the last man to finish his lap then. And I tell you what, a couple of tenths here for Lauder could bump him up the pack quite significantly here. What is it, half a second? Could put him to the top half of the table. Bit of a lock up into turn 3. And you see the smoke coming off the tyre as he goes right around there then. Now up to this section, which you kind of go back uphill for just slightly.
Tricky little off camber, that one,
yeah,
isn't it?
It is. It's sort of like dips to the left and you've got to get it just right. Don't run too far wide here, you'll be in that gravel and then you'll get your lap time invalidated as well. Again, another tricky section. Car wants to slide out and you've got to keep the slide in. Again, don't use too much of that curve. You can't use as much as you can in the F1 because that'll lose the rear here, Kelly. Now, this is the one where people are struggling to go. They're going too wide on the exit. Get it tucked in, clip the apex. Don't go over the green AstroTurf. Get it off before the green AstroTurf. Just about all right, I reckon, Flodder. Again, same here. Get it off before the AstroTurf. The AstroTurf is kind of the limit. If you go over that AstroTurf, it'll give you a slow-down penalty. And any improvement? No.
Yeah, it goes up 1.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think he went up 1. I think he went into 11th. So this is how they start for the feature race. Unorthodox with the quickest. We didn't quite make the 35s. Maybe that was a little bit ambitious, but it's Unorthodox on pole again from the two Camber. Team Camber brothers, Delore and Valiga, are you guys in second and third. Fury, good effort in fourth. The House Rocker in fifth. John Boy, look out for him in sixth. Ukbar in seventh. Laney in 8th. We were hoping for a bit more, but we'll see how he gets on with that. Kurt in 9th with a good effort. Grandad Steve 10th. Lauder in 11th. That'll be Craig in 12th, and Nick Davila will be your man in last place on the grid. So looks like it's got a bit darker here, doesn't it?
It does. It looks like it's got a bit overcast, doesn't it? Here, a bit darker in the Syrian mountains. Are we in the mountains of
forest
Syria?
or
forest?
Something? Yeah.
We're in Syria. Which is in Austria, which is in Europe, which is on planet Earth.
Yeah. So close enough. So yes, indeed. So this is a feature race. This 28 laps. There is a mandatory pit stop. They do not have to do damage because there is no damage. They do not have to change tyres or refuel if they don't want to. Because it takes far too long to do it because the mechanics are rubbish.
Because Daft Punk too busy gigging.
Yeah, Daft Punk too busy gigging and not undoing wheel bolts. So they don't have to pit for anything in particular, just have to come into their pit box and out again. But it is mandatory, and pit stop window opens on lap 9. So if you pit before that, then it's null and void and you have to do it again, I believe. And you have to do your pit stop before the last lap, 28. So you have to do it penultimate lap. Yeah, so you don't go across the line in the pit lane.
Who's your tip for this one, Kelly?
Well, with his form in race 1, I think Dan for me. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go Dan as well, but let's watch them BMWs with John Boy and Laney then, as the revs are rising for the second time and final time tonight, and we're about to go green here in Syria. It is green now. The BMWs, watch them off the line, but Dan gets a better start this time. Delore doesn't jump it, so it's all good all around. Look at the BMW with John Boy here. He's got a better start this second race, and he's immediately looking for second, and Fury, I think, swiped the nose there of Delore. He's got up into second. I'm not sure what happened there. There was definite contact.
Yes, indeed. Hard to see. Just as I swapped places there. But Fury went round and into second. But look at John Boy. You were right about the quick start in BMW. He's taken his grid position and converted it straight into a second place. And they're scrapping behind it. So it's Daniel. He's taken off and gotten a gap. He's in 1, and it's everyone else in second place at the moment. Literally within a second of each other, as you could expect in the first lap. So Fury done quite well out of that. Oh, I say that. He's back into 4th place. So the odds are even, really. Delore going backwards, John Boy going very forwards, and it's a good start.
It is a good start.
With some work to do.
All quite clean as well, Kelly. There's not really many people off or many incidents, a bit of rubbing, but that's touring cars for you. Now, I'm wondering if the Astra will be able to save its tyres a bit more in what looks to be cloudier conditions. If the temps just cold a little bit, then can that be Astra look after its tyres a bit better? Will Dan be able to be on it more in this race, I wonder?
I'm wondering if we're going to have a proper scrap for first place between John Boy and Dan. Is John Boy now going to have the opportunity to just break away from the rest of the pack, get out of the malarkey and concentrate on trying to lead this race?
Laney very sideways was Laney through the penultimate. He's held it together, but had that BMW all sorts of sideways there then. He's managed to hold it. The house rocker side by side with Kurt coming down the straight. Not with Kurt, with Vliega coming down the straight. Delore has got Fury all over his gearbox, who hits the curb very hard onto 2 wheels, but manages to keep it all together.
Yes, he didn't. He lost absolutely nothing from that, getting up on 2 wheels. So obviously the other one was giving him plenty of traction off that corner, because he lost. Oh, I say he lost nothing. He must have had a slowdown. Matt, look, he's just losing places like mad. Yeah, must have had a slowdown there. Just lost about 7 places. Pulled to one side of the track and slowed down. For those of you who are not familiar with this format, if you run off track, you get a ping on your screen that tells you to slow down. If you don't slow down, you get a penalty. Sometimes that penalty, sometimes slowing down is worse than taking the penalty. The way that this game half-arsedly kind of works out your penalty, what's feasible and what's not.
Indeed it does. Kurt was very wide coming through the turn 3 corner there. Fury managed to get through and is side by side with Grandad C, but that is Vliega getting that rear end all out, and De House Rocker looking up the inside.
Yes, indeed. So Vliega is just a little bit behind his brother. He's got the house rocker for very close company there. Some great battles going on already. Grandad Steve is chasing down Fury. Fury trying to break away from this one, as we see probably the house rocker and Vliega is one of the best races on tracks. We see a couple of guys going wide again. That last section is so tricky, isn't it? That's got to be the hardest part of this.
Yeah, you want to take that penultimate corner so quick, a lot quicker than what you really can without running too far wide. But that is then what you succumb to, is running that far wide off the circuit. As Vliega defending heavily into turn 1, and Fury as well has to sort of wiggle out. Vliega very slow. He's lost 3 places through one corner, or near enough 3 places. I wonder if he's had a bit of a slowdown, because strange one.
Yes, indeed. The only man with a slowdown at the moment is Ukbar, who's currently last and probably had a bit of a mare. So poor old Ukbar's luck ends up at the back again. Let's see where he ends up at the end of the race, because he has got a talent for coming back through, but he does have that bad luck, which usually puts him at the back. So, the front few just starting to pace out a little bit. Delore is in 3rd place. He's just about 3 or 4 tenths off the back of John Boy, who's still keeping Dan honest with 3/4 of a second. So Dan not running away with this one. He's got a bit of competition for this one, I believe. The House Rocker just in behind. Fury's now the man with everyone else behind him. As they all come in, you've got Laney and Grandad Steve and Kurt and Lodder all in this battle here from like 10th up to 5th at the moment. But Fury leading these guys along. Grandad Steve under pressure from Valiga, and Laney going out wide there. And
yeah, I wonder why he went out wide. It seemed a bit strange. Seemed a bit strange for him to go out wide there, because he's now looks like he's going to lose out to Kurt up the inside into the penultimate corner there. Oh, look at them all
sideways.
Yeah. Oh, Fury's cut the corner a lot there, didn't he? Took a bit more of the bottom part of the corner than what he wanted to. Delore and John Boy are both gaining on Dan here at the front, but these midfield battle, what a string of cars this is.
Yes, indeed. As we go on board with Laney, he's in the BMW. We've got Valiga in front of us, and they go wide as they all go wide, and onto the green astroturfy kind of stuff. And Laney getting dropped a little bit along this straight.
Laney struggling.
Yeah, he is struggling by the looks of it, and might have time to get used to this BMW. Closes up on braking quite a lot. A bit better on the brakes than the guys in front of him. Really closed up on the brakes there, didn't he, Matt?
He did indeed, but this BMW just doesn't seem to be gaining as much as we expected on the straights here. Laney doing as best he can on the brakes. Let's see how much he closes in that. And again, just being able to get on their brakes a little better, although just very... You see there the difference there between them two corners. Turn 2, a bit slower, was able to get the car turned in, back on the power on the exit. Turn 3 is a bit of a quicker corner, and he just seemed to have that rear step out a little bit, where he couldn't get the foot down and get the traction out the corner as quick as he wanted to. But now he's on the back of Grandad Stee here, who's right on the rear end of Liga, who's got Fury just in front of him. So Laney then, by no stretch of the imagination, he's out. If he just touches the curb, he gets a wiggle mid-corner, and he's lost all that momentum. Struggling, Laney is.
As simple as that. Yes, he is. As simple as that. Grandad Steve is looking racy and trying to find a way around.
John Boy's past Dan. John Boy's past Dan.
John Boy's past Dan. I didn't see that happen.
Oh, Dan's had a slowdown, I reckon.
Slowdown for sure. He's gone right back. We saw him pulling over to one side. He must have had a slowdown, so he's pulled out of the way. Don't want to take the penalty. He's going to crack back on, and he's going to go round. He's going to go round Delore. No, he's not. He's backed out of it again.
Ah, that's another slowdown. Oh,
what's happening in the
Fury!
background?
Fury and Grandad Stee.
Yes, indeed. They're dropping down the order. They dropped down the order so quick I couldn't catch them. So Grandad Stee and Fury going right to the back now. They're in so much trouble now.
I've just caught the replay on the stream. Do you want Grandad Stee's gone so wide as he's come back on over the curb. Fury already had the run up his inside, and Grandad Stee came straight across the front end of Fury's car and took them both into the wall there. So I'd say Grandad Stee, the one to blame there, ran out wide and then just came back onto the track, but Fury was already there, not realising his surroundings with the looks of that one on the stream.
Absolutely, and I'll take it. That's the way. If you say that's the way it happened, then that's good enough for me. Way.
Yes,
that's good enough for me, my friend. And lovely to see all the questions coming up in the chat. Yeah, thanks for that. So loads. Yeah, loads of that. We've got 0 questions. Thank you. Yeah, so that's how much people care about our motorsport knowledge, isn't it?
Either that, or they're just like, well, they know everything, so why do we need to know?
Well, why ask?
Yeah,
they'll say it in a minute. They'll probably job off about something in a minute. So
why challenge them then when they know everything?
Everything. When we know everything, why challenge us? Even pop trivia, as I proved on
Thursday night. Yes, very good with the DISCO.
DISCO, also out 1980. Yeah, absolutely. So let's recap on this race. As John Boy's now under pressure from Delore.
Had a bit of a wiggle coming out of turn 1, Kelly, off the curb, and lost the rear end a little bit. And Delore, thank you, Mama, for the carrots. P1.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's through. I was just about to say that John Boy, we said he was a contender, and he still is, of course, but just getting it a little bit wrong. With that, but look, the top 4 all close contact again.
You said it in the first qualifying. It's just going to take John Boy that bit of time, and I feel that If Gary was here tonight, Gary would be the lead BMW, if you ask me, in this pack, because Gary's driven it for a couple of seasons now at Motive and really likes the BMW. I feel for John Boy and Laney, they're learning it, and it's a car that we saw with Dan last year. It took a while for Dan to get comfortable in that BMW, and he clearly wasn't comfortable in it even at the end, because he's now ditched it after 1 year and gone to the Astra.
Yes, absolutely. If he'd loved it, he would have stuck with it for sure. So it's a car that takes getting used to. And John Boy at the moment, I mean, John Boy's he's got one race under his belt anyway, where Laney hasn't. Laney currently in 5th, but he's 8 seconds back from the lead at the moment. So he's got an awful lot to do. So John Boy, the lead BMW at the moment. But I totally agree with you, Matt. If Gary 131 was here, who's had a couple of seasons on the BMW, he would probably be leading this race right now. Yeah,
so let me ask you a question. If Gary was here right now, would he be leading this race too? More than likely. Would he have challenged Dan race 1?
Well, possibly. And,
because we've seen Gary in that BMW. Gary makes the BMW like quite easy to drive. We've seen it time and time again over the past seasons. You can clearly see that Laney is struggling in it, and Laney is no slouch. John Boy as well, like you say, he's had the race in it, and he's maybe finding his groove a little bit. John Boy, again, is no slouch, as he looks like he's looking up the inside of Delore, who gives him plenty of room. This is where the BMW, get the traction, get the power down, it'll have that momentum out of here, heading down towards turn 3. But the next, it didn't. It didn't.
No.
Wow.
Obviously didn't get it. Obviously didn't get it hooked up on the traction. So this is a funny little track, isn't it? Those two first corners, turn 1 and turn 2, are quite unique, uphill and really quite tight.
Yeah, there's three parts to this track. You've got turn 1 and 2 uphill, quite tight. You've got this middle section that's quite fast and flowing, and then you've got the end bit that's downhill, not as tight as turn 1 and 2 maybe, but a bit tighter than this lot. It's like 3 parts of the circuit, really. 3 different challenges that Austria went, here you go, deal with that one, when we made the circuit.
Absolutely, and this is not the original one, is it? There was a much longer one back in the day, back in the late 60s. But yeah, you're exactly right, and I think this is one of the things that's nice about this track, is because there is challenging. That turn 1, this section here, the end section, is so tricky to keep the car within track limits. You're exactly right when you said earlier that you just the penultimate corner just sucks you in and just makes you feel like you can go really quickly there, and you can't.
Do you know the thing I like about it, Kelly, is it's old school, and if you get the tight corners wrong, you're in the runoff. But you've got to go. You've ended up making that big a mistake to get in the runoff that's cost you time. When you're in the middle section, when you make an error there, you're in the gravel. So it really does cost you. The old school. I am a big lover of these old school circuits, not these fancy street circuits. Let's put a wall there, and if they hit it, they're out, sort of thing. I'm all.
Look at these 3. Sorry, Matt, look at these 3. We're fighting for the lead, and John Boy had a run on Delore, but that's helped Daniel get up the inside, and looked like Daniel's going to challenge. Where's this all going to end up? They go back in position.
I thought Dan was further in front than that looked like.
Yeah, I did too. It looked it, didn't it? It did look like he had a better run on it, and maybe he did to start with, and maybe the other two just had the legs on him. I should have maybe gone on board with Dan for that one.
You see what I mean about this part of the circuit, Kelly? Look, you run that bit wide, you're in the gravel. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You run wide on the sharp, slow corners, you're on the runoff, which means you've already messed up enough. You don't need the gravel there to punish them even more. You mess up on this quick part of the track, you're in the gravel. You're slow enough as it is. So that's what I love about this track. Risk and reward around here, and if you get it right, it rewards you greatly. You mess up slightly, punishes you.
Absolutely, and I could have put it better myself. I was going to say that it could be a 0 to 0 track. You can attack it if your car's planted. It's like this turn 1. You can attack it, take a lot of curb, and gain lots of time. Or
the way you want to take
you can run wide and be out.
Exactly. The way you want to take it in these touring cars is just get that sausage curb over the middle of the car. Look at Dan under braking. I tell you what. There was nearly a Matt Neal comment there. There was nearly a Matt Neal comment there coming in the orange Astra.
I was lining up, and a Matt Neal. That was a Matt Neal move.
Kelly's eyes was as wide as they've been all day, and it didn't happen. As he's got a slow down, so he's lost out to the house rocket. Yeah, massive slowdown. You see him taking turn 1 really, really slow, and that's a shame for Dan. He's lost out on a bit of pace there, a bit of time on them front 4, but he's got the pace to get back on them as quick as he's lost out there as Dan. These 4 are 7 seconds up the road from Laney, or Dan's 7 seconds up the road from Laney. They're actually 9 seconds if you're Delore in the lead. John Boy, what I like about John Boy's drive tonight, and I don't know if you'll agree with me, Kelly, is patience. Very patient in that BMW. He's not looked to make the move. He's not forced the error out of Delore as he just runs a bit wide. Delore does there. John Boy's just happy to sit and follow.
Yeah, and picking his right moments, and exactly the right thing to do. You try and force a move, and the chances are you'll both be in the gravel.
Yeah.
You know, so he has been picking his moves, and he's been taking it on the chin when he gets counter blows, doesn't he? You know, doesn't get flustered. You know, just regroups, get back on it.
Champion's drive.
Absolutely, and he is that. He is the Season 7 champion, current champion. So, he is very much a contender in this one as well, and showing that he's driving like a champion. So, good drive from John Boy. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, we're not over yet. It's another 18 laps to go and a pit stop for everyone. Pit window is now open. Pit window open at lap 9. So they can take their pit stops anywhere between now and 27. As I said before, you don't have to. Oh, look, John Boy's going to have another go up the inside on turn 2 or turn 3, isn't it? The turn 2's a nothing corner. And gets it stuck on turn 3. Lovely move. But look, Delore's not done on that one. Look at the power of the Merc down the inside here. Look,
the Merc's got some pull. I tell you now, it's doing the job. But John Boy, can he hang it around the outside? It's not bad to be around the outside on here. Because it will set, if you can keep it round the outside, it does set you up for the corner after.
Yes, indeed. And what they're doing here, Matt, is they're letting the house rocker is back on the scene, and Dan is just a whisper behind. So it's all to play for again for the lead position. This is not over by a long shot yet. These four are going to go at it a bit longer now. And as I say, it's brought Dan back into play, hasn't it?
It has brought Dan into play, and Dan here is really going to be on a charge if he can get on the back of these like he is, get in that slipstream and use the cars in front. We've seen Dan take that momentum of the slipstream and really work with it. Now, John Boy's just peeled off into the pits.
Right, so John Boy has pulled the trigger and is taking his pit stop now. As we see, we're on board with Dan. He now promotes up into third. And, a slowdown from Delore, was that? Because they've just gone round him like he was standing still. So Dan is now back up into second. This is how fortunes change. Of course, John Boy's in the pits, and we'll see how his pit stop is for him. But look, Dan's back after the lead of this race. And I want to go to John Boy. There we go. He's in and out the pits.
Yep, Vliga.
Who's that? Vliga's in the pits as well. So that's John Boy's pit stop done. Where does he come out? He's going to come out dead last by looks of it, or he's going to be in front of Vliga because he's in the pits. But he's going to be in clear air there, Matt. If nothing else,
he's going to be in clear air, and hopefully he'll be hoping. Oh, Dan! Oh! What has happened there between the two Astras? Now Dan's a very fair driver, so with the looks of that, Dan's at fault with that one, because you know when Dan's at fault, he's a gent and will do that, and will let through. So is Dan at fault with that one? Did he just outbrake himself, and that's why he's let the house rocker through? That's brought Laney into play for these two, and has really let Delore off. Go on then, let me have it.
Well, you're just like Matt Neal. Look like we swapped to that just as. Sorry, mate, go on. We've
kind of got a question / correcting me. X-Mart in the chat says, Matt, it's Styrian Mountains, not Syrian. Syria is a country, obviously, innit? We're in Styria, not Syria.
Styria.
Syria's a country, innit?
There we go. Thanks for that.
Cheers, Mark.
X-Mart. Yeah, for putting him straight on that.
Yeah.
No one likes a clever dick, do they? Mark will see the funny side of that one. We're good friends.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, he'll probably crash me off next time we're racing or something. I don't know. We'll see. But, look in the background here. That's who is that in the background? That's Nick de Villa. Where's Nick de Villa come from? Was he not running last at the beginning of this? Would he not start on 13th? He was last.
He had did he have a moment? I want to say he had a moment and he was last, but he's now up into P4 and Fury is with him. Nick de Villa got a bit under the radar at the moment.
Absolutely, and it must be quite a drive from Nick de Villa, because as I said, he's dragged himself up into fourth place. Yes, John Boy has pitted. Laney's pitted now as well. they've done their pit stop. Laney's in the pits as we speak. So who's quick? Dan's got in front of the house rocker again, and probably didn't do it Matt Neal style this time. So probably did it cleanly. As I said, that little incident when we jumped to it, looked like Dan was already out braking himself and a bit heavy on the brakes. So a little bit. What we got?
You don't want a touring car championship in Syria. They will be checking the track for landmines, says X-Mart. Brilliant.
Absolutely. Well, it makes for some interesting racing, that's for certain, Joe.
Yeah. Could you imagine? That's a strange line from Dan. Oh, bomb's gone off. Back to the race. Nick de Villa just picked up a time penalty. Dan running a bit wide. Delory, though, has been given a lifeline with Dan sort of driving through the house rocker a moment ago. That gap's now gone up to 6 seconds and has really let Delory have a bit of a breather with John Boy pitting and that incident happening. Can back off, save his tyres a little bit. Here goes Fury on Nick de Villa. I tell you what, Fury's raced hard tonight, hasn't he? He's raced hard tonight.
He's raced well. Yeah, he's raced well. And as I said, I like to see this form, and I hate it as well because I know when it gets to Wednesday night, it'll be fired right up and difficult to beat as he tries to go around the outside of Nick de Villa there, can't make a stick that time round.
But he's got the pit stops to do as well. None of these guys, Bartley and John Boy, have been in the pit, so he's got the pit. What's happened to Laney? Laney's 12th and 46 seconds off the leader.
I know.
I've not seen him in the pit.
He has pitted, yeah.
Oh, has he? Yeah,
definitely pitted. So that's why he's back all the way back there.
Let you off them.
Yeah. So he picked a couple of laps ago, 2 laps ago maybe. He's. That's why he's right back there. But we'll see how that comes back into play. John Boy's now back up into 10th, but he's fighting with he's up behind Craig now. Craig hasn't had the best of first rounds and hasn't been setting the timing screens on fire at all. So now is John Boy going to be losing time behind Craig?
Well, this is the one to see, isn't it? Craig struggled all night for pace. Bless him, he's given it a great go, is Craig. But the quicker John Boy can dispatch him, the better John Boy for Delory going in. Now Fury's trying an undercut on Nick de Villa, who's obviously got the penalty at the minute. Behind Nick de Villa is Lauder and Kurt. And then there's Grandad Steve.
Yeah, a bit quieter race for Grandad Steve at the moment, isn't he? In 8th place, not really moving forward.
Not had the pace. Oh, John Boy's got past Craig in the background. But no, Grandad Steve not had the pace he had in race 1, has he?
No, he hasn't. And I don't know if Grandad Steve is actually a grandad and maybe he's burnt himself out and is a little bit tired,
fatigue.
Could be his age, so comes to us all.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm 30 next year. It's terrible.
Oh, 30? That must be absolutely horrendous for you to be 30.
Terrible to be 30.
God, have you made puberty yet?
Mate, you couldn't imagine the troubles I'm going through at 28, pal.
Yeah, absolutely. Spots all over your face and everything.
Oh, it's terrible, mate.
Terrible. These two shave next year.
Hey, you clearly haven't seen the beard I have going at times.
Not recently,
Dear me. Unorthodox and the house rocker not really making inroads on Delory, kind of matching the times of the leader, just a couple of attempts quicker last time around. They're not making the inroads aid of light. Maybe do these two think of an undercut on Delory?
Well, we'll see. We'll see how strong the undercut is here and whatever. I'm interested to see where John Boy ends up once all the pits are done, because he was in a strong second place when he went into the pits. So we'll see how that all pans out. And
now, I'm kind of guessing here. Halfway through this race, no, we're not. We're not halfway through this race. We're just over halfway through this race. The Astras, would they have not came in just to give the tyres a bit of a breather roundabout now? I mean, the temps are a bit cooler. Dan says they didn't overheat as much as he expected in the mid-session break. I'm wondering whether these Astras are just pushing the last life of these tyres, just to then maybe cool them down as Craig's coming into the pits.
Maybe, and again, we don't. I mean, you've had a bit of a go in the Astra, did you say? Yeah, and I haven't even driven it at all, so I really don't know its characteristics at all. So maybe. I mean, for myself, racing GT3 the GT3 Porsche, I find that when I pit, it makes it all a bit hard work on the tyres again. But I think the GT3 Porsche probably lives a bit better on its tyres than these touring cars do. So I suppose an unrealistic comparison, really, to be fair.
Yeah.
So
have fun this Wednesday. By the way, I'm just going to get that one out there. X Martin in the chat. You'll find out. Tyres are going to be horrendous. Fury has battled hard. Just needs to keep out of trouble. Dan is the one to watch this season. John Boy showing yet again he's strong in any car. Says X Martin. Fury's granddad. I'm definitely a granddad. He says.
Yeah, we've got no doubt about that, Tony. You are definitely a granddad, and you're Fury's granddad, as we know.
Something gives that one away. I can't think.
I don't know what it is. Seems obvious somehow.
We're here all season, by the way. We're here for another 7 weeks after this. So make sure you tune in 8 p.m. on us. Make sure you tune in 8 p.m. every Sunday evening, because we're here for the next 7 weeks. We're not going anywhere.
Are we here for all of them, or does something called the British Grand Prix get in the way?
Oh, well, depends. You know. They're reviewing the 21st of June rule, so let's have a see what happens if they push it back because this new variant. And let's not get depressed and talk about COVID. Let's talk about these touring cars.
Let's gloss over that and move on, shall we?
I'm ringing Silverstone tomorrow to find out what may happen if they do postpone it and what the situation is, because my ticket got rolled over from last year. I don't want it to be rolled over again this year. I've already missed out once, so I don't want it to be rolled over again, basically. So I'm going to give them a call tomorrow.
I'll be interested to hear what you come back with on that one, because
I'll turn around and I'll say, look,
intending to be there.
If you only want fans in, me and my brother, because he's got to unfortunately take me, Kelly Davis and his partner, and Liam. We need Liam there because we need a good giggle.
We need the entertainment value. That'll be Liam, that Bozzy boy, if you've seen him. He races mainly on Simplay. But we need Liam. We need Liam because he's a source of entertainment.
He really is. Dan's got up a couple of seconds to Delory here. De Huis Rocker's not really gone with him. Dan's managed to gap De Huis Rocker. De Huis, De Huis, however, it's going to be all season. Dan's managed to gap him a little bit here and gain on the back. Is that Delory with a slowdown? That was Delory with a slowdown there. He pulled to the side of the track. Help. So that has really ruined... So Dan on a charge then, Kelly, before he pits, and he's really made sure that Delory's not going to have it easy. Now, if these two battle, how much does this help John Boy out? Lodders in.
Yes, indeed, and one of the other Mercs getting out of the way of this battle, and rightly so, because Dan is back within a second of Delory. Delory with a slowdown. His last lap a 39, Dan in the 37s. The House Rocker also in the 37s as well, but Dan's just gapping him lap for lap, and on a charge. He wants this. I think he wants double wins here this evening, and I wouldn't blame him. That would be lovely, wouldn't it?
It'd be the way to kickstart his season, especially going to Zolder next week. For these, I don't know if I fancy the Astra round Zolder compared to the BMW. A few more longer straights for that BMW to get its power over the Astra. So Dan maybe wanting to score big before John Boy or Lady maybe come back at him next week. I don't think there's Gary next week. I think he said he misses this one and next one, so that's a shame. But I think Dan will want the double win tonight. Really put his authority on the championship, Kelly.
Absolutely. Dan can go away with maximum points. He'll be very, very happy with that. So
I've got something for Dan. Actually, I've got something for Dan.
What's that?
It's a nice black and orange Honda jacket from. I've got loads hung up in the wardrobe with a few caps and t-shirts.
Yeah, I bet you have. One. Yeah, I bet I can imagine your wardrobe opening up and all that's there is Honda jackets and Honda.
There's a few football shirts in there and a few normal t-shirts for going out in, but mainly Honda t-shirts.
Mainly Honda.
I've got a McLaren Honda t-shirt in there as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I think I've got one of them. I tell you. And I've also got a Lucky Strike. Oh God, what's it called?
BAR.
BAR. Oh yes, BAR Honda. Like pit shirt as well.
I thought you didn't like Kelly. I thought you didn't like Honda. Talk me through your wardrobe.
I don't.
Red Bull jacket.
Yeah. The problem is when it comes to Formula One, Honda seem to put in. Oh look, Dan's got a run now. That's got me out of jail out of the Honda conversation. We'll probably get back to that, no doubt. Dan's got a run down the inside. He's going to make it stick. Delory lets him have it. He can't defend that one, but he's coming back
looking
to
for the
inside.
cutback. The cutback's not worked though, because he's going to be on the outside for the next part of this track, Kelly, and that hasn't worked unless he can cover Dan off. He can't. He's going to be so wide here, and it's a double left-hander. Can he now get the cutback on this part of the track? No, job done from Dan.
Job done from Dan. See if he can extend it from there. So good move from Dan, nice and clean. Good racing from the pair of them. All very nice and clean. So Dan back in the lead of this race, on a mission to try and win this one.
Now then, and, does he pit now that he's just taken the lead?
Is he going to? I would doubt it.
No, he has.
Both got in. That's interesting.
Like a book. I read that one.
Oh, didn't you? Yeah, absolutely. So.
Now, Delore's followed him, so where's John Boy? Let's keep an eye out for John Boy in this situation. The 2 leaders in. Where's John Boy? Oh, he's away back still. He's away back.
Yeah.
Long pit lane, though, here.
Dan's just made his pit box. Delore's one is just in front of him. Dan is away. So's Delore.
Delore's jumped him. Is that John Boy? Is that John Boy? John Boy's done them.
That is John Boy.
He's jumped him.
He's going to do them. He's going to do the pair of them.
Wow.
Look, yeah.
And I tell you where Delore's lost all that time. Delore's had a few slowdowns, which has allowed Dan onto the back of him, that has cost him all that time to John Boy. John Boy then, net first place in this race. What a drive.
Yes, it was. And right to go early. I did question it, that he was going to get caught up in back markers and traffic, but he's made it stick, and he's made it stick by about 4 seconds. So a damn good effort by John Boy. Dan lost that in the pits there. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, you know. Just lost out in the pits just by the smallest of margins, but put Delore back in front of him. So Dan, with all that work to do, he's in close company. So we'll see how that goes. So where are we? The House Rocker is the man leading this race. Does he go long and try a different strategy on this one?
Does he try the overcut? Now, depending on the Astra's tyres, what's his plan here? He has no intention of pitting this time around. Nick the Villa is 8 seconds up the road from John Boy as well. So what can Nick the Villa do? Does he go long? They've got about 6 or 7 laps before they have got to make the pit stop. The House Rocker here could have put himself in a great position if he can gap Dan and Delore.
Exactly right. And I was trying to read the chat without my glasses on again. I must stop doing that.
Yeah.
So,
terrible.
Well, as it happens, not much to be said.
No.
So we're into the last 8 laps, and the House Rocker leads this one from Nick the Villa. Neither of these guys have stopped. This is the man who stopped, and he is 5 seconds ahead of Delore and Dan, who are the other contenders, the other net podium positions at this moment. Dan looking for another win, but I think he's going to struggle. He's got to pass Delore and catch John Boy. It might be a little bit too much to ask in 8 laps, but anything can happen in touring car, and with words of the late great Murray Walker, anything can happen, and it probably will. So let's see how this one pans out. But it's nice to be back, isn't it, man?
Oh, it's
nice
great
to be back with touring cars.
Great to be back with some touring car action. Kind of missing the British tracks, but we're here for a European season, which should be fun. Monaco on the calendar later in the season. That's going to be that's going to be juicy.
So many drivers shy out of it, don't they? So many sim drivers absolutely hate it. I love it. I think it's great.
It's a challenge, isn't it? It's a test.
Yeah.
It's like when we did Bathurst last season at Simplay. I thought Bathurst were one of the better races at Simplay last season because of the challenge and test, and people was a bit more cautious. Monaco is going to be absolutely brilliant this season for these guys. Dan then looking all racy on the back of Delore here. Delore's done a good job so far. A few slowdowns have maybe let him down in this second race, but he's driven a good race so far. Good pit stop for him to jump Dan as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's the problem. There's the problem.
It is. Going deep gives you slowdowns. You have to abide by them or take the penalty. And not too many a lot less penalties in the feature race than there was in the sprint. The guys have found out where the track limits are, and always we see.
Oh, Dan's got a run. No, he hasn't.
He was deep, but not enough for Dan to capitalise.
Kelly,
as I say, it's a funny corner, that turn 1, isn't it? And turn 3 as well. This is turn 2 right here, which is a flat nothing.
But
this is
I don't
great
really
overtake.
that doesn't register to me as turn 2. This one does.
No.
Because it is.
Well, I think that's correct, isn't it?
It is nothing. I think the bikes class it as turn 2, whereas Formula 1 don't.
It's on my Wikipedia. It says 10 turns. So
right, I know on Formula 1 there's 9. When you play the Formula 1 game and things like that, Formula 1 have 9 turns. So I don't think Formula 1 class it as a corner. I'm not. Oh, we've lost Laney. I was just going to comment on Laney, how it's not his night, and we've lost Laney from the session. So, wow, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, to be fair, the track map on Wikipedia also classes that second turn as not being there. They class the next stopping zone as turn 2. So we'll go with that. We'll go with that. I can live with that.
Yeah, I can live with that. I mean, the turn 2 that they sometimes class it as is it's not a turn, is it? Let's be honest.
Nothing,
it's barely a bend. As Dan's a bit deep this time around, trying to push hard, but we've lost Laney then. One of the favourites for this season, gone, not having a great night in that BMW, and is retired from this race or disconnected from this race. Hopefully, no internet problems. If it, I mean, does he score points at this stage of the race? I'm not too sure how the points are scored.
Fine details.
Delore locking up into turn 1, and Dan creeping onto the back of him, and not able to get that job done at the minute.
He is. Delore's just being as slippery as a wet fish, isn't he? He's putting the car in all the right places. When he does go deep, he's able to defend. As Dan's got to run on him now into turn 2. But can Dan slow it down? Delore don't come across.
Oh, he did a little bit. Yeah. That was that could have been naughty there from Delore a little bit. Dan hasn't got the move done. Luckily enough, they both come out of it unscathed.
Yes, indeed. So, does Dan have a go at it in? Now I don't know if this is turn 3. I suppose this is, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose,
because it's that last one. Yeah, it's not a lot of turns around this. Turn 3, of course it is. And there's not a lot of turns around this track, is there?
No.
It's only. I say it's only 10 or 9, whichever way you look at
Fast circuit. Fast circuit, lot of laps. One of them that you see on the F1 calendar, and it's full of laps because they're only doing just over a minute, aren't they? Yeah. They're not even doing a minute 10, so it's pretty quick race. But a lot of laps. Lando Norris took his first podium here, obviously last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Back to back Grand Prix at Styria this year as well. Back to back. Again?
Yes, you're quite right. Yeah, back-to-back rounds as we lost
Canada.
What did we do? Canada, yes, of course we did. Another firm favourite. We lost Canada, and now we've lost Singapore as well from the F1 calendar, and looking to be replaced with maybe Turkey's on the
Turkey's on the list, as is China, and as is another round at Kota, Circuit of the Americas.
That's right.
Dan's got a great run here on Delore as they come out of turn 1 up towards turn 2. He's well alongside him now. Delore's got to know he's there as they head into the braking zone. Will Dan... Oh, he's done it before the braking zone. Great move.
Yeah, he's got it done this time.
Well, his little Astra has just pulled him along nicely there.
Absolutely. His little Ashtray was cracking on just lovely there.
Now, I've kept an eye on the gap, Kelly, these last couple of laps. The House Rocker hasn't lost time, but hasn't gained time to John Boy. So his pit stop is going to be crucial for where he feeds out again around Unorthodox and Delore. That's going to be... I think John Boy's got this one, if you ask me. But it's going to be crucial for when this guy pits. Will he feed out, or how close will he feed out to these two guys?
Yes, that's going to be very interesting to see when the House Rocker finally pulls the trigger and takes his pit stop. But yeah, I'm with you on this one. It's looking pretty good for John Boy. And, Unorthodox and Delore have been scrapping amongst themselves, so they haven't been gaining upon John Boy. And we've got 5 laps left. So, to make up, where are they? About 6 seconds, 5-6 seconds behind. They can see him in the distance there, but that's a long old gap to catch up in just 4 laps now. Yeah.
If anyone can do it, though, Dan's hungry enough.
Yep, absolutely. And crazier things have happened, that's for certain, sure.
Yeah. Jason Plato's won a championship. That was ludicrous.
Did it many times?
Twice.
I thought it was 3 times.
No,
I thought it was 3 for him and 4 for Matt.
No, 3 for Matt, 2 for Jason.
And 4 for Turkington.
Andy Rouse and Colin Turkington.
Yeah.
See,
well,
you want your
class
touring car
drivers.
questions coming in? There you go. I've answered them all.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And yeah, that's because Turkington's a better driver than all of them. So yeah.
No, it's just in a better car.
You're in a better car, is that what it is?
Well, the rear-wheel drives are too overpowered in the real-life touring cars. Do you not think?
Oh, yeah. Well, you're beginning to sound like Matt Neal. Oh, boost. They got more boost than we have.
I don't know how anybody dares after 2011 when Plato sat there because Chevrolet didn't have no boost and he's going, oh, can't cope with these boost on the Hondas.
Yeah, well, the whinging comes from all angles with touring car, just as it does with Formula One.
Matt Neal decided to take his teammate out and still want title.
Yeah, well, there you go. And Delore keeping Dan honest. Look, he's back on him again.
Yeah. He's been quick, Delore, tonight. He's just made a few errors that's, slow down penalties here and there that's cost him a little bit. Ran a little wide on a few corners where people have been able to get him done. John Boy, a flash of the lights, not sure what that's about. Looking on the track map, actually, there's a lapped car in front of him, away in front of him, but maybe an early flash to let him know that he's coming.
Yeah,
for John Boy. Delore, like I say, he's been quick in this second race, Kelly, but he's just made them errors that's cost him at times. Yes,
and but he's still there at the sharp end, and he's a contender for this championship for sure.
Was a contender last year, but just didn't string the results together, and was kind of too far behind going into the final two races of the season, wasn't he? And it never really. It would have needed a miracle for it to work for him. But start of the season, start as you mean to go on, as they say.
Yes, absolutely. So if he takes a third here, I think he had a good result in the first one as well, didn't he, Delore? So it's the building blocks for a championship for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a race championship. Do you know what I mean?
And
the House Rockers in.
Yes, so now we'll start to see. Was that
Delore on the grass? Just made it again. Deep, just one of them mistakes that's cost him. Right, now look for John Boy on the. Oh, John Boy's done him. John Boy's coming through the penultimate corner
by a country mile. I think. I think the other guys might get him as well,
Is he away? He's not away. So there's John Boy on your right of screen now. Is that Dan? Yeah, there's Dan. There's Delore. I think they've done him, Yeah, I think they've done him. John Boy's through. There goes Dan. Yeah. He's not yet off his limiter. He's off his limiter. Now he's off his limiter. And, drops. He's going to be quite a way behind, I reckon, as well. There he is.
Yeah. And a valiant effort from the House Rocker, but going long certainly didn't work. He's a little bit off these guys now.
Dan's not reeling John Boy in very quickly, is he? He's only gained a couple of attempts last. Although saying that, he's gained a bit. Oh no, and then it pans out there. Look, 3.3. He's gained a couple of tenths, maybe a second over the last 2-3 laps. But I think this is John Boy's to lose.
John Boy's to lose. Yeah, that is perfect. I mean, what's Dan got? About 3.5 seconds. I mean, he's got to go, like 2 seconds a lap.
Yeah.
Quicker in these last two to get up to John Boy, let alone passing him. And again, to quote the great Murray Walker, catching is one thing, passing is something very, very different. Yeah. You're quite right. This is John Boy to lose this one. Nick Davilla's going to have to take his pit stop in a minute or two. He's either going to have to do it this lap or the next one. He passes on through, so he's going to do it on the penultimate lap, but he's got to do it there because he will
be
disqualified for that one. Yeah. So he wants to do that. What else is happening on track? Well, we've got Fury is close on the back of Wiegler. They've been going at it, these two, for quite some time now, and Fury can't find himself a way past. Excuse me. So we'll see how this one pans out, but Fury's struggling to get in front of Wiegler on this one. Here's our net race leader, John Boy, and reigning
Dan's
champion.
Took a second out of him last lap.
Yes, he has, and Daniel getting so close, he can almost smell him. But as I said, he's got to do a lot in a lap and a half, as Dan.
Yeah, but John Boy, a 38.3, that would to me seem he's either took his foot off the gas a little bit or made a slight error somewhere. And with 1.5 laps to go, he doesn't want to make another one because that gap of only 2 seconds will slow. Dan will chip away at that one now, and one little mistake, Dan will be on him.
Yes, and he looks like he's. I mean, you get the yo-yo effect. When you're on the brakes, the guy behind you is still accelerating, but when he's on the accelerator, the guy behind you is braking. So you get that yo-yo effect where the car looks like they're gaining it and pulling away, depending where they are on the corners or whatever. And John Boy's got who's that in front of him? A back marker, one of the green.
I think it's Craig.
Could well be Craig. Yep. So is he going to come into play? I do hope Nick De Villa has pulled in. Yes, he has. He's in the pits now. Dan, does he
Dan's brought that gap down even more. He's brought that gap down even more. That gap's now 1.2. And that's 1.2 as it's panning back out. Do you know what I mean? So Dan, in that last sector, has gained 0.6 of a second. What was he? Quit 36.7 from Dan last time around. A 38.4 for John Boy. So Dan, nearly 2 seconds quicker on that last lap, and that gap's now under a second between Dan and John Boy. Dan charging on the last lap here. We thought John Boy may have had this one done, and it was his to lose. Well, it definitely is his to lose now. I fancy Dan for this.
I think he's got too much to do in a lap. I think if he had a couple of more at the 36, and I want to be proved wrong. I very much want to be proved wrong. Obviously, I'm a Dan fan for many reasons.
Because he's sporting the Halfords colours?
Well, yeah, I just love his choice of colours, don't I? You know, there's.
I'm going to buy you. I'm going to buy you a Halfords
orange
hat
is my favourite. You are? Well, that would give you something to put on the campfire, wouldn't it?
I might buy you. In fact, I might buy you a nice Matt Neal car sticker like I've got on my PC.
I would rather have that than a Halfords. Matt Neal's one thing, but I draw the line at Halfords for sure. Nothing. If the CEO of Halfords is watching like he normally does, I was going to say no disrespect, but all the disrespect.
Dan's coming. Dan is coming. Yeah, Dan is charging.
It's going to be. Is it enough, Matt? Is it enough?
Oh, I don't know. Do you know what? Danny's quick in this last couple of corners.
I think
John Boy's got to nail it.
I think he needs another lap. You know, I just don't think he can throw it down the inside of the last one. He's not close enough. He's not close enough. Valiant effort by Dan, absolutely. But John Boy's just got to keep it in a straight line, and Dan's just flying him along. He looks in good spirits for a second place.
Oh, it was close, wasn't it?
Yeah, very close. Very close indeed, but John Boy takes the win as he smashes his BMW into the wall, but he doesn't care because he's not picking up the bill, and that's a race win. Unorthodox in second, and good effort from Delore in third. The House Rocker was looking like he was in the fight for this one, but couldn't quite get there in the end, but a solid fourth place. Wiegler, a much better showing from him in fifth. Fury, who's had a roll at the end there, they're all just messing around as they come over the line. They don't have to pay for these cars. So Fury comes home sixth. Grandad Stee in seventh. I was hoping a bit more from him, but let's say maybe he's tired, the old boy, bless him. And Nick De Villa comes in eighth. And I will get a list. And there you go. And I'll just finish that off here. So it's Nick De Villa was in eighth. Kurt V comes in ninth. Lodder in 10th. Ugbar not making that recovery drive like we was hoping for. Still in 11th. And Craig finishes off in 12th. So, cracking good start to the touring car season. Matthew, any last words from you?
Dan, driver of the day for me. Kelly's been a fantastic job. John Boy, hats off to him in learning the BMW to take his first win of the season. This just shows what the battle we're going to have between them two, Delore and House Rocker, all season long. Vlieger, quietly good points tonight. Fury will be... mixed emotions, I think, for Fury tonight. Could have had the pace to be at the front, but just didn't. It wasn't able to put the race together. Granada C, a better first race than a second race, but great to be back with the touring cars and looking forward to Zolder already. Absolutely, and I think you're quite right. I think our championship battle here throughout the season is going to be John Boy and Unorthodox and Delore. I'm hoping Laney can get his head round this car and get back on it. And we've still got Gary to come back as well. Yeah. They will definitely be taking race wins further down the line. So cracking good start to the touring cars. Join us again next Sunday. Sunday nights is touring car nights from 7 o'clock. Nothing else really matters other than Simplay GT3. You'll see myself on Wednesday nights, and
and the pros, Dan and Matt, and everybody else going to join us on the Thursday. So do join us for that. Much more racing on Motive as well. Things to look out for on Motive's touring. Clio's always great racing. Would love to be back there commentating, but work commitments mean I can't. But great racing, so tune in for that one. From me. From Matt
Kelly, just a quick one. Finale of the F1 season here at Motive on Friday night. Green Pies versus Just Jose in the finale. Yep. I don't think I'm in with a mathematical chance, but I'll try and make their life.
Green Pies in that one as well, is he?
Yeah, Green Pies battling Just Jose for the title. I think I'm just mathematically out of it, but I'm sure to make their guys a living hell in the finale. Join us for that one, as what's been a cracking 22 race season. That one comes to an end on Friday night here at Motive as well.
And if you want to go back over those races, and all the races are available on the YouTube channel, so go back and look at some of the good ones. And there's plenty of
Circuit of the Americas.
Circuit of the Americas, absolutely. So for me and Matt, sweet and sticky in your box, we're going to sign off and say goodnight. Thank you very much for your company. From me and all the Motive team, and from Matt, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you and good night.
Good night.
Woo! I was going to say, I've just seen the Motive screen. Are we out? Okay, cool. That was a good start, wasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Is the racing better without them again?
It's closer.
We've got plenty to talk about at the moment, which is nice.
It's closer between more manufacturers. Do you know what I mean? It's not just a three-way fight between three Megans. It's, a three-way fight between, or a four-way fight between BMW, Mercedes, and Astras. It's yeah.
I think I would have got it, but then the front tyres were fucked towards the end.
Yeah,
I was trying my best not to lock, not to turn in too sharply because the tyres just would not want to grip at all. But I fucking love that. I love that. And if it wasn't for me hitting the Hewis, I think I would have come off a lot better as well. I think I might have won.
Yeah. Cheers for that one, Dan.
Why? I just noticed 2 Astras taking out one out the other.
No, there was a lovely Matt Neal comment made by certain someone.
Yeah, absolutely. You left that one wide open for, and we only just jumped to you on the stream like a millisecond before, and looked like you'd already outbraked yourself, and then you just bang into the back of De Huis, and it's like, Matt Neal. It was great. Thanks, Dan.
Oh man, I'm so happy with the start of that.
Yeah, good effort. I think you're a contender for sure.
I've just wanted to prove that the Astra is worth watching. And me and the House Rocker, I've got it hooked up, I think.
John Boy and Laney are, they look like they're struggling in that BMW.
John Boy, I think, just proves that he can jump in